The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. Before we get started, for everybody who's new, for everybody who has not done so already, please hit that subscribe button because we are on our way to 10K. Okay, we have a mission to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is going to be a walk in a park for us as far as the rate we're going right now. So I see a lot of people already in the building. So if you guys are new to the channel, I know I got a lot of people who checked me out recently. So definitely want to make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because high quality content like this, you will find nowhere else. Where else you're going to find it? Nowhere. That's the answer. That's why you guys need to subscribe. So we got our brothers and we have our sisters in here already. We have Hurricane. I see you, brother. It's in here already. Salute to Hurricane. Salute to a good brother Torian. Salute to Rizbone. There's Kid Gravity's in here. The cool man. Cyberdon. I see you, brother Ken. I see you, brother Ken. Maggie is in here. Shots on target. Our good sister Royal Me. It's too many people. It's too many people in here already. So to prefix this, I drove home. Hey, you know I like to drive. Gravity knows I like to drive. I want to let you guys know there was a convention in Atlanta about reparations. It was a coalition about reparations where a bunch of different organizations came together and they talked about coming together for the sake of joining their forces of their organization so they can get reparations. That's what the whole thing was about. I went all the way. That we got the Cash App blowing up already. Shout out to Cyberdon for the Cash App. I appreciate that, brother. That's a good brother right there. I appreciate that. So I went all the way to Atlanta, but I didn't go. I was not there by myself. I had our very good brother, salute to him, our good brother, Black Alpha from the Black Alpha Network, and he's here with us right now. Salute to Black Alpha. Black Alpha, how are you doing?
Doing good, brother. You know, I just had one question, though, fam. Did you do anything exciting this weekend, brother?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, nothing too new for us. It wasn't too new for us, but it was fun. I did have fun. I had fun.
Yes, indeed, man. I'm glad to be here, brother. I'm glad to break it down and share everything that we seen and experienced this weekend with the whole FBA family because we came there on behalf of everybody. And I believe that we did a good, respectable job of speaking on behalf of the family tree. And now it's time to break it down. Y'all turn up the volume and share this episode.
Yes. So we have so much stuff to cover, and we're going to be very detailed in every meticulous little video. And there's a lot. If you guys are following us on Twitter, which you should be, there's a lot of stuff. So we got a lot to cover. So you guys plug in, stay tuned in. We got 100 people, 3 minutes. We've been on live for 3 minutes, got over 100 people in here. You guys need to stay locked in because you guys are going to get this information nowhere else. So without any further ado, I'm going to pull up some videos. First off, before we do that, we got to salute the fam. Shout out to Mariah Morgan for the 1999 super chat. I appreciate that. Super sticker. Shout out to Panther Strike for the 15 super chat. He says, brother Afro Elite, we all know it was a flim flam scam. Yeah, it was. Thank you for being there. And thank you to Black Alpha Network B1. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your super chat. Now, shout out again. We got another one from Kid Gravity. Shout out to the super chat from the Cash App from Kid Gravity. I'm gonna be sitting up here doing shout outs like the whole day. So let's get started. We gonna get started. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up, this happened on day one. And I'm about to pull it up right now. Got to scroll through all of the clips I took. Was this right here. And Black Alpha, I'm glad you're here because we had a whole broadcast breaking this down, specifically breaking down the problems and things like this. Okay. So this essentially is trying to get us on board with using the term and identifying ourselves as Afro descendants. So we are Afro descendants. Trying to make this as big as possible. Okay. So check this out.
The term Afro-descendant refers to descendants of people who. The term Afro-descendant refers to descendants of people who were forcibly dispossessed of their homeland, Africa. Forcibly, you know what that means, right? And I can sense trauma in that with force. You were transported to the Americas and the slavery diaspora for the purpose of enslavement. I hear intentionality in that. It was intended. It was a deliberate act. Deliberately transported us here, our ancestors, for enslavement. Were subjected to slavery. Some of the most heinous crimes, ethnocide, genocide, you name it. Some things you can't even think of.
Okay, that's the one. Now that's when she was introducing the term Afro descendant. So let's listen to this, right? This is the next clip.
You can say I'm an African American Afro descendant. It's okay. You can say I'm a Lost Foundation of Islam Afro descendant. That's okay. You can say I'm a Hebrew Israelite Afro descendant. That's okay. That's right. You can say I'm an N-Cobra Afro descendant. That's okay. That's right. But we want you to accept it, wear it, put it on, show out with it, make it cute, and make it the thing to do, and that everybody knows it. The President of the United States, oh, I think he already knows, because he's already doing, he's come up with some other little inaugural, what was it?
Commission.
Right. Right. So, but.
Okay, now we got one more, and we're doing this so you guys can see everything in its full context. Then the next one. Now, this is I guess they wanted people to scan to agree to self-identify as an Afro descendant. Okay, this lady here, she is Dr. Akula. I'm no mean to mispronounce Dr. Akula Mukaram, the president of the Afro Descendant Nation Incorporated. So we're gonna pause that, and then we're gonna discuss. Black Alpha, we've done a video, a famous video. Video blew up. Everybody loved it, about why foundational Black American is the best term for us to use. Why that term beats the term ADOS, Freedmen, even Black American even. So we understand terms like African American, those are too loose. We need to have something that's very specific and exclusive to our lineage. We've discussed this. We've understood that that's the very first important thing as far as getting our reparations. Why don't you, in your opinion, tell the audience how dangerous it would be to use the term Afro descendants, how problematic it would be for our reparations claim, for our justice claim, to use the term Afro descendants. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit, because there's a lot more, but let's get that straight out the way.
Great question, brother. The first problem with the term Afro descendant, that completely nullifies nationality or lineage. Okay. So once you start saying Afro descendant, you're basically talking about all Black people. And then that can tie into different people. They could say they got a third Black, a fourth Black, a fifth Black in it. It's basically an all lives matter term for Black people. All right. So it's basically all Africans matter. That term is so problematic in many different ways. And I'm not surprised that somebody who wants to get in on our lineage-based reparations would try to use that type of term, because that allows them to get in on something that does not belong to them. Think about it this way, family. This is the way I want you to frame it. The term Afro-descendant is basically like coming home from work, walking in your house, and just keeping your door open. You don't lock the front door. You don't have the screen door, nothing. Anybody can just come in and go. And it's like, that's what's been going on right here. And this is what that lady was trying to do. And the very fact that she was trying to sell it to him, and I can't say us, because let's be honest with you, there was like 40 people in there, all right? So they're operating from the bottom.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of people. So, but you see the signs though, and you see how these people do. When they can't beat us numerically, they try to jump over us and go to the United Nations, which I'm sure you're going to get to, brother, because we've seen that there. But that term is so problematic because it is an all lives matter term that encompasses every single Black person on the planet Earth. And I'm not surprised, because the same ideology of scam Africanism, it basically says that lineage doesn't exist. And that's a way for them to get our money. Now, tribe exists when you go over there. They make sure if you're on that side of the village, that side of the desert, that side of the jungle, that's clear. But whenever it comes to us and it comes to our money, then they want everything to be very flat. And that's what we're pushing back against. And that's why we got to stay on point.
Yes. And now, when we talked about using exclusive terms such as foundational Black American, we understood that that term is the best term because it mentions our Blackness, our race, it mentions our nationality, and it mentions our origin as far as being foundational to the nationality of America, the nation of America, and we're Black people. So it's just the perfect mix of everything, okay? Is really nothing that you can say surpasses that. Now, people might have their preference, but we understood terms like African American. Elon Musk can consider himself to be an African American. He was born in Africa. He's an American. There was another game, Rotimi. He's some type of Nigerian rapper or something, right? He says he's an African American, and he's not wrong. So we understand African American. You can have people outside of the lineage claiming to be African American. An Afro descendant, which is essentially saying any person who is descended from the whole continent of Africa is in this group. That's that honestly, over Black American, over African American, or even over Africa, even over an African, okay, a lost African, all of that. Afro descendant is literally the most broad term you can self-identify yourself with. You not only could you, as a foundational Black American, identify as Afro descendant, anybody at all from the continent, anybody at all from the Caribbean, and anybody who has any tie to Africa at all. You can have Hispanic saying, hey, I have a Black Ebola, right? I'm an Afro descendant too, correct? You're going to have Hispanic saying that. You can even have Asians saying that. Let me repeat, you can have Asians claiming that they're technically an Afro descendant. That's how loose that term is. That's how problematic that term is. Now, she said that she wants us, we can still identify as Afro-American, African-American, but put Afro-descendant African-American. First off, that's a mouthful. Nobody has time to do all that. Okay, imagine writing that on a piece of paper. Afro-American, in Cobra, the Nation of Islam, which are not nationalities or ethnicities, okay? But we understood off the gate, like, okay, that's very, very problematic. That is incredibly problematic, especially when you're using that in a guise of having the conversation about our reparations. So, brother, I want to give you your props for that, because that's very, very problematic. And this is what I say. I'm glad you brought up the fact that these are people who are trying to convince other people. They're not trying to convince us. They're not trying to convince me or you. But we have a lot more to talk about. But before we do that, salute to our good brother Cornell Sly for the $100 super chat. Okay, appreciate you, brother. Salute to you, brother. Thank you very much. He's salute to Afro Elite and Black Alpha Network and the B1 family. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Okay, that really does help. Now, Another one, salute to Marlo Henderson. Sometimes there's a glare. It's Afro Latino. Exactly. He sends a $2 super chat. Any Afro Latino who got a curly hair can say, I'm an Afro descendant. My ancestry is descendant from Africa. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Who in the planet Earth cannot claim to be an Afro descendant? Is that not the most inclusive term if everybody in the world can technically in some way or in some shape or form claim to be an Afro descendant? Who in the world can't say that we have some type? We have videos of Karen's being like, I'm 2% African, I am 2% Nigerian. Is she not an Afro descendant? Do we not see where this problem is gonna go? We see that. We see that. This is why we cannot use all these terms like that. We cannot do that. Now, I want to move on because we had to get that out the way. We absolutely had to get that out the way. Now, let's bring up this. Now, a lot of people were talking about this situation right here. We've been talking a lot about voting. A lot about voting. So we have to bring this up.
Was to demonstrate to the
Now, I caught as much as I could, but I caught the most important parts. So we're going to play this like how we did the other one, but we're going to play this full thing. Then we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to play the other video, and then we're going to talk about that.
Was to demonstrate to the Democratic Party the political will of the party, demonstrate to the president the political will of the party to push this legislation forward, and then have the president then create an executive order. We did that. So 217 co-sponsors in the Congress and the House. We had a Senate companion bill introduced for the first time since Reconstruction. We had the Speaker, the Senate chair, sign on to the Senate bill. 10 of the 20 committee chairs in the Senate sign on to the Senate committee bill, as well as 10 other senators. So we demonstrated that there is political will within the Democratic Party to pass this legislation, but because the way this country is, the Congress is set up, this bill will be a bill that's filibustered in the Senate. It will never get out of the Senate, but you need 60 votes in the Senate to block a filibuster. There's not been one Republican on this bill since the introduction of this bill. And to think we're gonna get 10 Republicans is ludicrous. It's not even a function, it's not even functioning in reality. So we always knew this bill had to come through the president. And so now, whether we demonstrated this political will to the president, our efforts now are centered solely and focused solely on getting this president right now, not after the election, but right now, to create an executive reparations commission through executive order. Unfortunately, the commission process is what we have to go through in this country for reparations. That's what the Japanese had to go. They had to get a commission first. We should be able to send a reparations bill to Congress, but again, it's not going to pass in Congress. We just don't have the votes. This process prohibits us from passing something of this nature in Congress. It can only come through executive order. The time frame that we're working with is very narrow to get this established. We're talking like within the next 3 months, putting the type of pressure on the president within the next 3 months. And even if we get it established in 3 months, we're talking 4, maybe 5 years before redress comes to our community. 6 months, if we get.
Now, we're going to take that off for a second. I'm going to explain because a lot of people use the excuse when it comes to anything tangible for us specifically. They use the excuse of the filibuster. So what the filibuster essentially is in Congress, you have two different parts in Congress. One part is the House of Representatives and another part is the Senate. The Senate and the House both together make up Congress. The Senate is like pretty much like a higher level of Congress than the House is. All right. So bills get passed by a House majority. Whatever majority rules gets passed through the House. The Senate, things are a little bit more difficult because you need 60 votes, not a majority. You need 60 votes in order for things to get passed through the House. Now, the way it's set up is that when one party does not have a majority, a solid majority of the Senate, that means that if the Democratic Party, for an example, if they wanted to get something passed, they're going to have to get some Republicans to agree on it. The filibuster is set up that way so one party does not have a complete monopoly. He's going to be back soon. One party doesn't have a complete monopoly, and one party doesn't have a complete dictatorship about getting bills passed. They still have to a degree, cooperate with the other party. That's what the intent of the filibuster is. So there are things, filibuster is real, and there are things that do get blocked through the filibuster. Now, when it comes to us specifically, they often use the term the filibuster. Stacey Abrams used that a lot. Oh, you just can't get nothing past the filibuster. Now, when it comes to sending money to Ukraine, when it comes to sending money to I don't even want to say that word right now. When it comes to sending money to Ukraine, when it comes to sending money to Afghanistan, when it comes to sending money for these illegals, when it comes to sending money to the letter crew, you guys know what I mean. When it comes to sending all of this other stuff, the filibuster never blocks that. Only when it comes to us is the filibuster an excuse. It's this big excuse. Now, it's a thing, but it's never a thing with any other group of people. Any other group of people can get something done. Only us is like, oh my God, this filibuster is just so impossible to get anything through. You just can't do it for reparations. You can do it for everything else, just nothing for you guys. It's just so complicated. Now, the question I want to ask you, good brother Black Alpha, and then after he answers this question, we're going to get to the super chats. That was Cam Newton. And Cam Newton said that there is political will among the Democratic Party for foundational Black American slavery reparations. So my question to you is, do you agree that there is any at all political will in the Democratic Party to give us reparations?
Not at all. Not at all. See, what they want to do, family, is that they want to make it look like the Democrats want to give us reparations and the Republicans don't. And that allows them to facilitate.
I said Cam Newton. I meant Cam Howard.
I knew what you meant, brother. I got you.
My bad. Okay, yeah, Cam Howard.
And salute you for getting that footage too, family, for getting that, because that was really the red herring, you know, because then we know it's going to be a vote blue no matter who. Didn't we we knew that was going to come. So I salute you for getting that. But they always do this. They try to act like the Democrats want to give it to us and the Republicans don't. So therefore, now they can play the good cop, bad cop. And we all know that they operate off of that. But they don't want to give us anything at all. Nobody wants to. And they're running the whole filibuster game. None of that. The Democrats don't want to give us reparations. Neither do the Republicans. And they both operate off the illusion that they want to do so. Now, to what this guy is saying about, you know, jump over a rainbow, land on your left foot, do a backflip, land on the Eiffel Tower, all of these tactics that they try to get us to do. Why would we sit here and fight for a bill to get, you know, filibuster and wait for another 40 years? You know, you already have HR 40 if you want to play those games. That's just gamesmanship. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's a super duper op. You know, he's old as hell. He's probably about 3,000 years old. You know, he's completely out of touch. And everything that they were saying was completely out of touch, brother. So no, they do not want to give us reparations. The Democrats are not going to be the people that do anything willingly for us. Neither will the Republicans. Anything that we get done is going to have to be done by us pushing the line. And then that's exactly what we were doing when we went to that, you know, convention this weekend.
Yes, I fully agree. Okay, so I'm going to get to some of these super chats because y'all been being so generous and I don't want to miss you guys and make you guys feel unappreciated. Let me start off with FBA R15 says, I got a hot 10 for the family. Thank you very much. I appreciate that 10, brother. I appreciate that. Is that a man with a folding chair, brother? Does that brother have a folding chair? I love to see it. Then we got antithesis, $50, no tangibles, no vote. That's what I'm talking about. Period, point blank. Hey, no tangibles, no vote. Oh, we gonna get into that. We're not done. We are not done. We're gonna get into that. All right. No tangibles, no vote. Then we have Dakotas Jenkins, he says, don't talk about the Hebrew Israelites. You didn't talk about the Hebrew. Oh, we're not done, brother. We're not done. Oh, there was a lot. There's a lot we discussed. We're not done. Thank you for your $20 super chat. I appreciate it. Christopher Ellis says, much respect to you brothers for breaking this down. Thank you very much for your $10 super chat. I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you. Our sister, I am done, sends a $20 super chat, says B1 family, B1 to you, sister. Thank you very much. Now, let's get to the second part of that video. All right. Now, I didn't get to catch it right before, but what he said right before is we don't want to say no tangibles, no vote, because that's going to give up our power. So I wish I caught it right before, but he said we don't want to say no tangibles, no vote. That's what he said right before this.
Up our power. So we don't want to say I'm not going to vote, or I'm going to vote Republican, or I'm going to vote third party. Not at this particular point. We might have to say that later, but right, so we don't just give up our power without utilizing it. I'm seeing that it doesn't work. So our message is you have to earn our vote. And we're telling black men and black electorate, that's the message. You have to earn our vote. And to earn our vote, we want a reparations commission, nothing less. You know you're dependent on us. We know you're dependent on us. And we will vote for the Democratic Party because this is in our best interest. We're not going to get reparations to the Republican Party, point blank. It's in our best interest, but we're not going to be taken advantage of any longer.
Okay. Brother, he says, did you catch the doublespeak? This is why it was very important for us to show up there. This is why it was so very crucial for us to show up there. He says, well, we're not going to give up our power. We're not going to do that. We're going to demand some. We're going to vote for them because that's in our best interest. So you're going to vote automatically because you're not. You said you're not going to vote for the Republicans. You said you're not going to vote third party. So you're going to vote for them automatically, but we're not going to give up our power. But isn't our power withholding the vote? So what are you doing? So Black, you break that down, brother. Break it down, brother.
Brother, ain't you tired of hearing that fake tough talk from these Democrats? All of the black Democrats run around and talk this. We gonna fight. We gonna continue to struggle. We ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna do this. But we will vote for you blindly right now for free. That stuff got to stop. He was giving a bunch of this Democratic shield tough guy talk. That's that rolling beep beep Martin talk. That I'm going to continue to say I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. You're going to do whatever the Democrats tell you to do. As a matter of fact, you're reading off a script that was written for you before you even came to this convention. So we already know what type of time this guy's on. It's the same type of time that all the Democrats are on. This is nothing more than the tether Democrat. That is it. That's bottom line. You feel me? His lineage, I don't know what his lineage is, but I'm sure with that hairline doing the moonwalk, he is not FBA. But I want the family to understand this. They were openly non-FBA. This wasn't some where's your family from convention. These were folks from all over the diaspora openly saying that they are non-FBA and they want reparations for everybody. We just got to go vote for the Democratic Party. So you knew this was a vote blue no matter who. You knew the fake tough guy talk was going to come. And then you know at the end they were going to fold. We've seen this all before. And what they do not like about us in this generation, in this time, in this era, is that we call it all out before it happens. And therefore we stop it before it goes down. So these people are going to continue to do this and going to try to ramp this up. And we know because the election is right around the corner, this type of convention was going to happen and they were going to slide it in. But there's a lot more that we've seen. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The Democratic Shield talk, the tether talk, the Friedman talk, it all came in full maximum right following this guy. So salute to you again, brother, for catching that, because that right there was an indication of what the rest of the event was going to be. And you got it, brother.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad I was there. Now, this is what we're talking about when it comes to, and I've been saying this for the longest because I really want this to get stuck into the minds of the people. This is controlled opposition. This is what it is. The opposition knows. Now, he was talking about, Biden understands that he needs our vote. We have power. Biden understands that we can take him out the White House if we don't vote for him. And this is something that on this very channel we've been talking about for the longest time. They're scared. I have been saying this since Stacey Abrams last year. I've been saying this, that and not just Joe Biden, but the entire Democratic Party is really in fear, biting their fingernails off, because they're afraid of the fact that black people, not by the lead of black men, but not just black men, but black people are pulling away, are not showing the same amount of loyalty to the Democratic Party or even to voting in general as they used to. All right. And they're in fear of that. And this is our power. This is why they're even having things like this, because a few years ago, they would have said, nah, we cool. But the fact that we're showing that, oh, okay, y'all cool, so we cool then. We not just going to give y'all what y'all want and y'all not going to give it to us. It's quid pro quo. And they're seeing that among the people, among the grassroots, they're seeing that spirit start to come out more and more, okay? They can't rely on the old civil rights, failed, vote blue no matter who generation. They can't rely on that anymore. All right. They have to rely on the younger people. All right. And the younger people, and we got some riders, some elders who are riding with us too. So shout out to them. But they're saying no. So what they're going to do is they're going to send people out. And we were talking about this with Chicago. They're going to send people out. And they're going to be the speakers. They're going to be the representatives. They're going to talk some of our language and our verbiage and use words like white supremacy. They're going to use words like, hey, Biden, he ain't done nothing for black people, and I'm mad at him too. They're going to say the good things to get them in the room. And then the second they're starting to lead the conversation, it's a turn left. It's a sharp ass pivot left. That's their whole strategy. The whole thing of Biden needs us, and the Democrats need us, and they know they're going to fail without us. So we're on the same page because we all can agree on that. And then at that left turn, we're going to vote for him anyway because the Republicans aren't going to give it to us. That's that left turn. The Republicans aren't going to give it to us. I agree. But the Democrats have not shown, as a brother Alpha said, the Democrats have not shown any political will to not only do reparations, to do anything tangible for black people. Okay, the Republicans have been some of the main people who've been advocating against reparations. Didn't Kamala Harris, the VP, the vice president, sister girl Kamala, she's black one day, she's not the other day, it's a mystery box with Kamala. Did not she say, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people? Didn't she say that? Didn't Joe Biden, and brother Alfred, you broke this down, didn't Joe Biden say he's not even going to consider reparations unless the red Native Americans get it? So what political will could we be talking about?
It don't add up, does it, brother?
Yeah. No, not at all. Shout out to Black Logic. Black Logic sends a $50 super chat. Shout out to our good brother Black Logic. I've been seeing him grow and doing his thing on his channel. It says double speak and coon babbling, countering any offenses that they make. Yeah, this double speak. We're gonna use our power, but we're gonna vote for them because the Republicans, they're bad. The Democrats are not as bad. It's just the Republicans stopping them. That's the same thing Stacey Abrams said when they asked her about reparations. That's the same thing all of them say. Notice the filibuster is their go-to excuse every time, all the time. That's what they say all the time. The filibuster, the filibuster, the filibuster, the filibuster. Brother, boy, was that a mess.
You notice the pattern they always run on us is they say, vote for us, Democrats. Vote for us, and then when we vote for them, they say the Republicans can't do nothing. They run on stopping the Republicans. Mm-hmm. And then when they get the power, they say we can't do it because of the Republicans. And they'll do this all the time. When Obama got elected, they had control over all of the government. When Joe Biden got elected just in 2020, they had control over the whole government. And they never do things for foundational Black Americans, even when they have the control. So they tell us that even though we control every single branch of the government, we still can't do something for you. But if you vote for us the next election, we'll get the power back and do it for you again. It's a lie. It's a gambit. It's a hustle. It's a scam. It's a plot. It's a scheme. And they do not like the fact that this generation is not going for it. This generation is calling it out every single time they present it. And that's what I love about everybody. Everybody in the chat, everybody watching right now. We do not fall for the same old Democratic con games. We are on them 24/7, 365.
Yes. Yes. Shout out before we go to the next clip, because we got so much to talk about, y'all. We got so much to talk about. We're getting out of this world with this conversation, quite literally, in just a second. But before we do that, let me shout out our good brother Torian. Has Torian not? Can we give us a 100? Can we give the clap emoji? Can we give the applause emoji for our good brother Torian? Has Torian not been on it every single day? This man wakes up every day, puts on his black Air Force Ones, and say, "I'm ready to destroy my enemies." Okay, is this man not living and saying, "I have fully embraced villainy"? He says, shout out to the $20 super chat. He says, "My unaffiliated card came in the mail 2 weeks ago. No allegiance to either of the lopsided parties. They have proven to be incompetent beyond measure." I couldn't agree more. Them ignoring us is unreasonable. Me ignoring them is me being rational. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. We have no, it's not logical to have any sort of alliance after all of this time to either of the party. That's the thing that we're so unique with, the fact that we don't have any sides of any of the party, not the Republicans or the Democrats, nobody. We are very, very strict on get some, we need something, and if you got it, then we can talk. If you don't, we can't talk. Whether that's Trump, whether that's Biden. Okay, this is why we wasn't mad at Ice Cube for talking to Biden. I mean, Trump. We weren't mad. Now that conversation didn't go the way it should have, but the thing is that we understood. Hey, ain't no loyalty, ain't no friends. Now let me show you this, because we're getting out of this world with this conversation, y'all. This lady came.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Okay, let me zoom in a little bit.
I'm just saying make believe when I write up Exodus to Mars and saying Black Martians, but maybe America knows Mars is occupied, and that's why Trump started a space force. Biden didn't disband it. Matter of fact, he just shot down some UFOs in February in Michigan. So if UFOs are just some crazy people with aluminum hats on, why do you have it now as a part of the armed forces? Wake up, people. They've known Martians were Black over 100 years ago when Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote a comic book called The Princess of Mars. And that's why I chose this. With a Princess of Mars is answering you. Now you have to understand the real reason they're going up there. This month, it was supposed to take place on October 5th, but the window is until October 25th. This month, NASA and SpaceX will launch to Psyche, and that's an asteroid. That is the Princess of Mars. Forbes magazine has estimated Psyche to be worth $10 quintillion in gold and other precious metals. Some metals they don't even know what to do with yet. $10 quintillion. So if you are about to launch to an asteroid worth that kind of money, does it matter if the budget, whatever budget you have, if it's less than $10 quintillion? It doesn't matter. You can shut down government. We got the money to pay for everything.
Okay, brother. Okay, here we go. Let's take this off for a second. We got deep, didn't we? Talked about the Martians. Now I'm gonna say this. Growing up and doing all my studies and all that, I was taught and I learned that Black people are indigenous all around the world, right? There's Black people all around this world. I didn't learn. She taught me something new. I did not know that number one, there were Martians, period. And I sure didn't know that they were black. These are black Martians. And that's why Elon Musk is going to outer space. Alpha, do we have to go into intergalactic travel to get our reparations? What do you think about that?
Man.
Do we need to go to outer space and team up with the alien Martians to get our reparations? Brother, can we? If they're are we even human?
Was that what she was getting at, brother? Because I was trying to connect those dots, fam. That's what it sounded like she was going for.
I don't know if we're even. I mean, and then what would you pay Martians? You wouldn't pay them dollar bills. You pay them in like batteries or something. I don't know. Are we gonna pay the reparations in batteries?
Hey, family, that's what happens when you watch too much Star Trek, family. That's all I'm gonna say. Or Star Wars.
Hold on, let me see. So, brother, I don't. This stuff is just. But we literally had that. Literally, and I didn't get a chance to play this clip, but literally, it was. She said that we need reparations for abortion. Because abortion, they take the cells and the fetuses and all that stuff out of abortion and put that into vaccinations, and we don't get money from the vaccinations. So we need to be pro-abortion and get money for abortion. But after we come back from Mars, these are the people that they're telling you need to lead the reparations conversation, y'all. These are the people who are telling you they need to lead the reparations conversation. Brother, oh, Lord. Okay. Lord, let me see. What do we have here? Oh, what? I mean, it wasn't all boring, though. It wasn't all boring. Let me not say that. We did have entertainment.
Oh,
that. We had some entertainment. I can't lie. Okay, hold on. We had some now. We're going to talk about Sexy Red and Suki Hana and their degenerate low frequency music. This is the most on cold frequency music. I'm gonna play it and mute it every so often. So I'm gonna just be right here.
My birthday, hey, yeah, let's get it, reparations, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of empty seats.
Hey,
there was a lot of empty seats, my brother.
Bro, quick story for the family, okay? I'm on the other side of the auditorium, and I'm looking across at Afro, and Afro's literally over there doing this. He's literally holding his ears like this, just going, "What the hell am I hearing?" Family, I was crying, laughing, family. I was like, "This is just terrible."
Brother, when I walked in, I stepped out to the bathroom, and I'm hearing the 50, because that's a 50 Cent beat, okay? If you guys know the song, the what's his name? The birthday song, like "Go Shorty, it's your birthday." That's the In the Club. That's the name of the song. Thank you. So I'm hearing that. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they? I go in there. This man, first off, doesn't say anything. He's just walking around the stage. Yeah. I'm thinking he's about to sing 50 Cent song. He's about to lip sync 50, because the music went on for a minute. It was looping for a minute. And he just, yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's a little off brand, I guess, a little bit based off what the convention was. But I ain't mad at it, I guess. Then this man says reparation. I want you guys to listen to hear if he says any other word besides reparations.
I see in Cobra in the building. Hey.
He shout out to In Cobra.
Hey. Everybody, represent your organizations. I need you to let us know who you are.
That's the Martian lady. Look, y'all see, that's the Martian lady. He pointed to the Martian lady. He pointed to the intergalactic warrior of reparations.
Reparations. Yeah. Hey. Let me get a drink. A little water now. Reparations. Yeah. I feel the spirit of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yeah.
All right.
That man said, let me get a drink. Oh, man.
What was that? What was that, y'all? What was that? Hey, listen, we all want reparations. We all conscious people, okay? We all are intelligent black society. If I catch any of y'all bumping that in the car, going to the next rally, going to the next event, if I can catch any of y'all doing that, I'm putting you on blast. I'm sorry, I got to do it. He said, let me get a drink. I mean, he was putting in a lot of work. Yeah. Did he rhyme? Did you hear him rhyme?
I don't think I heard a rhyme in that at all, brother.
Shout out to Tariq for coming up with the hip-hop documentary. Special salute to Tariq, because I think, now I'm not a hip-hop historian, but I think hip-hop and rhyming are synonymous. Don't you got to rhyme to rap? Otherwise, you're just saying something. So, which is offbeat. He was very offbeat, mind you. Incredibly offbeat.
Terrible. Horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to get into, I have some special clips, and these special clips I did not show on Twitter. So this is the first time you all are hearing these clips right here. All right. This came towards the end of the event. All right. After that, then we're going to get into the real stuff, which was the workshops, and we're going to break that down. So let's listen to this.
You know, in my experience in doing conferences and putting them on, I was always reluctant to take a lunch break. Because I know when people take lunch breaks and they break out the door, but that's just me though. I could be off. But I would like to at least make an announcement, and I think based on what has been said today, made me make a forecast. This is an interesting exercise here today, and we are at a critical juncture, because this represents the lost foundation of Islam, and in its creation of the Afro-descendant nation, bringing other bodies of leaders and streams of thoughts into such process, and then making sense out of all of it. Yes, sir. Knowing that as we go down the road, there are going to be brothers who come in the room, and they're going to say, well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And my interpretation of history is that we are from the 12 tribes of Israel, and I'm from the tribe of Judah. Well, we're going to come in the room soon as we move down the road, and then going to be another group is going to come in and say, well, I'm Europe.
So that's what now this is part two of that. Part two of that. Here it goes right here.
We're strong today because the leadership and the leaders that are here are the basis for transformation. Yes, sir. Now we have elders from Cobra here, Sister Queen Ifia and Waza, and we is Mr. Let. Is he here still? Okay. Bottom line to it, as I close, we're at a watershed moment. We're at a watershed moment for bringing all of the elders and the legends from the Cobra process to the table. We have visionaries, Brother Cam Howard, that bring to the table, and others. Yes, sir. And so my job, I believe, based on what is said, is to help us get to Washington, D.C. I mean, and we're going to go on a massive advertising. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, when you come to Washington, D.C., you won't see one pole uncovered. You won't see one billboard uncovered. You won't be able to turn on the radio without without hearing about full and complete reparations. My job is to work with the persons that are outside of this process or looking in on the process to make sure they stay aboard this process and take us further. We have critical things that have gone on before us that they want us to continue. Durban.
Okay. They're talking about, first off, so the people who don't know, that was Malik Shabazz. Okay. I'm not sure if he's there now, but he is the head of, or he was at least the head of the new Black Panther Party. And he's talking about that convention, not just staying there in Atlanta, but he's talking about essentially having a rally in DC. He's having a rally in DC. Alpha, I'm pulling up this other clip because there's something else that's very important that we need to talk about. But why don't you tell the audience, this is the essential gist of what they're saying. The whole thing is to take over the movement.
Absolutely, brother. That's a great alley-oop, fam. What people got to understand is that they using all of our talking points. The very notion that we got reparations popping. Let's get this straight, okay? We're going to make this crystal clear. Certified foundational Black Americans.
Hold on. I'm sorry about that.
We are the ones who got reparations popping. Period, point blank. You tell me anybody else who has had a reparations rally, and I'll spot you the whole country. And I'll spot you since 1776 till right now the second. You name me one lineage of people that go under a particular umbrella of self-identification that put together a reparations rally. The answer to that question is foundational Black Americans. A real
exactly.
one. I'm not talking about 6 people walking up the street or going to a 7-Eleven. Okay, I'm not talking about that. All right, I'm talking about people really out there in the streets. It's us. So you know that they're taking all of our talking points, and the very fact is that they go to where we were, they speak what we spoken, and now they're trying to do what we do. So this is clearly a reparations hijack. This is truly reparationist imposters, and they're all trying to tangle themselves in. By definition, that is a tether. That is a reparations tether. It comes in all different shapes and sizes, family.
Yes. Now, I want you guys to understand how dangerous it is to not have a solid agenda. First off, you want to have people. Oh, shout out to, before we continue, shout out to a good sister Antoinette for the cash out. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, beloved. This is why when we talked about self-identifying as foundational Black Americans, why that was so important, and then talked about reparations, the foundation of reparations, which is cash, which is what we're going to get into. We're going to get into that soon, shortly. But the thing is that we talked about that. You saw the first lady say we need to identify as African descent, Afro, not African, but just Afro descendants. Okay. Then you say, you have the other person saying that we got to vote for a reparations committee. HR 40 was a study, but we don't need HR 40. We need the committee. So we're going to vote for a committee for the Democrats. So we're going to vote for the Democrats and hope they give us a committee. Then you got some other lady talking about trillions of billions of dollars on Mars because the Africa is really from Mars, or we're from the Mars is Africa or something like that. So she's talking about going to Wakanda, getting a spaceship and going to Mars first before Elon Musk and his Tesla. All right. All these 3 people, these are different people that they've gathered together on top of saying that now we're going to DC. Can you imagine how bad it would be for the movement, for the whole reparations movement, and for the whole reparations mission and message? The message is so very pivotal. It's so very important that it's clear, it's concise. This is the reason why we've been able to make all this progress. This is the reason why we've been able to push the needle as far as we have in as short of a time as we've been given. This is the reason, is because we're so very focused, we're so very specific, not just on who we are, but what we're owed and who's owed it to us. And we've been firm. We've stood 10 toes down on that. That's why we've been able to make that work. So when we went to DC, Alpha, remember that when we went to DC, that was able to make a huge impact. A lot of people are saying that before we went to DC, that was one of the leading things that caused Stacey Abrams to lose in the midterms. Okay, notice, family. Ever since we went to DC last year in November, that the Democrats have been steadily complaining about their lack of black voters, their lack of black vote anticipation. They've been steadily complaining about that because of how focused we were on that. There was a lot of different speakers in DC. None of them talked about going to another planet. None of them talked about us being from another planet. None of them talked about Afro descendants. Everybody was focused. This is the importance of being focused and being precise and being potent and knowing who you are and what your agenda is.
Brother, let me throw this in there, family. What everybody has to understand is if they go and they have these reparations marches or whatever they want to call it following us, let's look at how the media is going to portray that. The media is going to say that was us. They're going to say reparations rally, and they're probably going to say from FBA, and they're going to probably tangle it into whatever gets told there. This is what these people are trying to do. It's slander. They want to smear the movement. That's what they're trying to do, and that's their attempt. So if they go to wherever we go, next thing you know, they're going to get tied into us through the press, and all the articles and the headlines are basically going to say that foundational Black Americans, were ratchet. Foundational Black Americans were talking about Mars. Foundational Black Americans were talking about go back to Africa. So this is why they follow behind us everywhere we go, so they can steal our words, and therefore they can steal our next moves. This right here is exactly what we've been calling out, and this is what we've been watching for, and that's why we on point and on code.
Yeah, exactly. Now I got another clip. Very important clip, I gotta say, because this was all in the main, this was all in the main room, the main auditorium. Oh, we ain't even touched the workshop yet. That's where the juice is. The juice is there. We ain't even touched that yet. But we're talking about what happened in the main auditorium. Okay, so let's play this. Hold on, let me I guess I gotta rewind it back. Let's listen to this, y'all.
White man is looking into, a white government is looking into trying to organize it and say how much he's going to pay, what he's going to pay, when he's going to pay. He has black men.
Hold on, that was there was another clip right after that. You should have right after that. How much is pay? Okay, check this clip out. I just posted this up here. It's a very slow talker, that brother was, but it's coming. It's coming. Come on. The other clip, y'all just stay with us, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. It's uploading right now. Oh, hold on. I don't even have to. I'm doing the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. Oh, come on. It's coming up. It's coming up. I got so much different clips, and then some of them ain't good. Some of them kind of slow or whatever the case is. Listen to this, y'all. If that comes up.
Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. Abraham and Hagar are.
No, I think y'all. I got a lot of clips, y'all. Y'all got to be patient, but it's coming. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Come on.
A white government is looking into.
Okay. Okay, that is the same clip right there. He said, I want to get to the point where he said that us as black people, we should not expect individual. We want reparations for a government, for the government to give us reparations, and we don't want individualized reparations to give back to the hands of the white man. So to see, because he spoke on this 1 minute and the next minute. I believe it was this clip right here. It's a lot of different. Oh, okay. Now YouTube is sitting me up, telling me we got a problem.
Government is looking into.
God damn.
Trying to organize it and say how much he's going to pay, what he's going to pay, when he's going to pay.
Is this it? This better be it now.
We have lived with you quite a number of
Now this is the clip. Look, listen, y'all. Let me pause it. I got a lot of stuff. Okay, I apologize, but this is the clip. I know they're like Afro, damn, but this is the clip, y'all. So check this out. Can you play?
We know what you up to, white man.
Yes, sir.
We have lived with you quite a number of years. 460 some odd years. We know you. We are a part of you. We don't want reparations paid to me, her, or any individual black person.
That's right.
Hold on. We got to rewind that just in case you did not hear that. He says, we don't want reparations paid to me, her, or any individual person. Hold on. Let's take that back just in case y'all didn't hear it. Take it back. We're going to take that back because we're going to make sure we pay attention. I'm not putting words in nobody's mouth.
Paid to me, her, or any individual black person.
That's right. That's right. Not getting it
wind up right back in your hand.
That's right. Come on now.
To wind up right back in their hands. So if you pay reparations to individuals, it's going to end up back in the hands of white people. This is why I searched to get this clip up because this is so important for us to talk about because I couldn't just miss this out. We don't want individual reparations for it to be in the hands of white men. Let's finish.
That's right. That's right.
We want reparations so we can build our own government, our own nation.
Yeah. That's right.
Now he white persons have started to pay reparations out to individuals.
So it stops right there. It stops right there. But essentially what he was saying, before we go on to the workshop, this man is saying that we don't want individual reparations to get back in the hands of a white man. We don't want that. We want reparations so we can build our own government. So who's getting the reparations? Who's dispensing the reparations? Who's in charge of the reparations? Who is to tell me that the debt my family's owed to me, I'm not responsible enough to have that debt. If somebody has an inheritance, they're owed that inheritance, whether you deem that they're legally responsible or not. If somebody has a will, you can't say, well, your son is kind of irresponsible when it comes to shoes and money and stuff like that, so we're not going to give him the money that's owed to him by the will. It doesn't work that way. So why would they think that that would work that way when it comes to reparations? Alpha, let me ask you a question. Do you think that if we got reparations individually, that it would ultimately go back in the hands of the white man? What do you think about that?
I think that is one of the most outdated, low budget tactics to stop us from getting cash payments. Okay. If you don't want us to get money, then just say you don't want us to get money. Don't tell me, well, you're going to take the money, give it back to him, give it back to them. Last time I checked, didn't certified foundational Black Americans build this country and flip the country? If we can flip a country, we can flip our reparations checks. Let's get that crystal clear, okay? We don't flip the United States. So therefore, we can flip some United States money, the money that is belonging to us and that we deserve, okay? So anyone who's running around here trying to say that we're going to give the money back, basically, family, I want you to translate that. Anytime you hear it, and I don't give a damn who says it. I don't give a damn if it's auntie. I don't give a damn if it's uncle. I don't care if it's him. I don't care who says it. If you hear somebody say, we're going to give the money back, therefore we don't need cash payments, then just understand that that person right there is scared of the money. If you're scared, just say you're scared, all right? Don't be scared and act like you're all the way down, all right? You're really scared because at the end of the day, they know that money is power. Power is money. We live in a savage capitalistic society. So once you live in a capitalistic society where money makes the whole country go around, money is more important than a person in this country. And if somebody says that they don't want that money in return, they're basically saying, I'm just going to be scared now. If we get the money, it's really going to upset white folks. That's really what they're saying. Yeah. They're saying money is power, and they don't want power. Power is going to get the attention of Massa. And when Massa sees we getting power, he comes down on us. See, we don't give a damn about that. Give us all the power. He can come when we ain't got no money. He can come when we got the money. Either way, family, he going to get that work with us. Them, on the other hand, they look at it from the aspect of, let's keep the money quiet. Shh, don't say nothing. We don't want to rock the boat. All that is, family, is the reparations version of don't rock the boat. Well, guess what? We're going to be rocking the goddamn boat because I want all my money. So, yeah, they scared of the paper. We not scared of the paper. I want it all. And I don't just want the dollars. You can give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters. I'll take the 50-cent pieces. Yep. Every single thing that is belonging to us based on our ancestors, us being the offspring, I want it to come to us, and you better pay us in full. Reparations all damn day.
Absolutely. Do you know how that really actually goes to show you how you view us as foundational Black Americans when you tell people that they're too what they call financially illiterate. That's the word they like to use. When you tell people that they're too financially illiterate to get cash payments, when you tell that to people, now that does not get told to any other group of people. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes it so condescending. That doesn't get told to any other group of people. All right. That they're too financial, that you don't care about that. Asians, they're not too financially illiterate. The small hats, they're not too financially illiterate. The Ukraine, they're not too financially illiterate. None of them are too financially illiterate except Black people, because all we'll do is buy Jordans and cigarettes and fried chicken, and that's all we'll ever do. That's all who will ever be. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're saying we're idiots. The people, these are the people who are claiming to be advocating for us to get reparations. Do you want these people speaking on your behalf? Do you want these people speaking on your behalf, advocating for you, but saying that you're too much of an idiot to give money to? So give the money to someone who's like a parent, which would be them. Give us the money, and we're going to dispense it to our children. That's essentially what they're saying. Let me say this. Not only are foundational Black Americans, not only are we not financially illiterate, I would dare say we are the least financially illiterate people in the world. That's what I would say. There's not another group of people in the world. I'm not just talking about America. I'm talking about the whole world, all of Earth. There's not another group of people who have one and two generations after slavery built Black Wall Streets with an S. There's not another group of people who have done that, who built businesses, burned down again and burned down again. There's not another group of people who had a history of inventions the way we've had. There's not another group of people who fertilized land and made this land pop like Bruce's Beach, like we have done. There's not another group of people. They say when they gave out the stimulus checks that it was Black people. The number one thing we were doing was paying our bills. The number two thing we were doing was starting businesses with these unemployment checks and these stimulus checks. That's what we've been doing. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Who else besides us is more financially literate? Because let's not forget how often the dominant society puts us in a recession. Let's not forget how often the dominant society puts us in inflation. Let's not forget, those are their decisions. Those are the smart, educated people with the PhDs and the doctorates and the political science. They are the ones, the bankers, they're the ones who put us in recessions. They're the ones who raise the inflation. They're the ones who crash the banks. The housing crisis, that's the dominant society's fault. That's based off of decisions that they made. The Great Depression, that's based off the dominant society's decisions, okay? The inflation that we're going through right now, and the one we went through the other years ago, where gas was almost $10 a gallon. Do you think that was us who made those decisions? How many companies have gone bankrupt, have had to file for? They're so smart, right? They're so smart. They're so smart. How many times have they had to file for bankrupt? Had they had to take out another loan? Had they had to foreclose on houses, crash banks, crash companies, crash industries? How often does that happen? It was in 2020. How many businesses in 2020 went foreclosed and bankrupt? I saw closing sales on the Gap, on the all Toys R, on all of these things. They can't keep a franchise open. It's seeming like for the course of a decade. I remember Kmart used to be a thing, guys. Do you remember that? You might, if you're old enough. There's no Kmarts anymore. There's no toys. All of these things, they don't exist anymore because they can't keep up with their finances. All right.
That's a damn good point, brother. You're right. The very fact that they don't want to give us money, that shows you that we're good with our money. Okay. Yeah. If we were bad with our money, they'd give us reparations yesterday. The very fact that they know that we are so good with money is the reason why they want to stop us from getting money. All these other groups that they write all these checks for and give them allowances and stimulus and just hand them money, they know those folks are not any good. They need the financial help because these folks can't get it on their own. And when they get it, they still mess it up. They fumble the bag. We don't fumble the bag. They gave us lemons, we make lemonade. So we can do the same thing with money, the same way we did with the country. It all goes hand in hand. So the very fact that they want to stop us from getting cash payments, that lets you know that when it comes to cash, nobody can stand next to a certified foundational Black American.
Yes. Do you guys know, not even slavery. I'm not even talking about slavery. I'm talking about all of the things that we have invented, the businesses that we have made a market for, that they came and they just took from us. Do you understand that the lottery was invented by foundational Black Americans? The concept of the lottery was invented by foundational Black Americans. Do you know how much money they make every single year off lottery tickets alone? You think if they given $1 billion, they not receiving 5-6 times that much money off of lottery tickets alone? Do you understand that it was foundational Black Americans who made that a market? It used to be called numbers, running numbers. That's us. Okay. And they said, okay, we see a lot of money in that, so we're gonna make that illegal for y'all, and then we're gonna rename it, and then we're gonna take it over. Imagine what we could do if we had reparations with our genius, with our creativity, with our ingenuity, with our hustle and grind. Imagine what we can do with that. Okay. So I feel highly offended when somebody tells me that me or my people that we're too financially illiterate for cash payments. I feel highly offended by that. Now I want to go and talk about the workshop, brother. The workshop. So
here we go.
This first thing, because we got some clips, y'all. We got some clips.
Oh.
So this was the first thing. Now, the thing is that we pretty much took over the conversation intelligently. We took it over in a good way. We let the conversation. So the brother, when we all got together in the circle, I was the first person to speak. He was like, hey, do you want to speak first? I said, yes, sir. I stood up, and this was my first thing, because I was hearing a whole bunch of the back to Africa, what I want to do, we should all go back, and I'm like, okay. So this is what I had to say.
Bro, before you go there, family, let me say this. There was some confusion with people, okay? Nobody was supposed to talk, okay? This happened all on the spur of the moment. We were literally the only foundational Black American certified Black society people who spoke at this. This was not an open forum where they were allowing everybody to come in and speak their piece. This just so happened to be we were in the right place at the right time. I think we just had some damn certified energy that they couldn't deny. But nonetheless, this was not supposed to happen. So there was some confusion that people think this was an open forum and everybody came just to sit down and talk. No, we were the only ones on the other side, quite frankly, on enemy turf, behind enemy lines, and we were the only ones waving that foundational Black American flag and representing the lineage, standing on the lineage and handling lineage business, brother. So I got to put that out there to let everybody know it was us against the world, literally.
Yes. This is really what the people been waiting on. So let's give it to them, brother. So I stood up, and this is what I had to say.
Okay, we made white people rich from our labor. They have wealth from our labor. The plantations, the houses, the buildings, the industries that were built off of us, the wealth that were built off of us that's been now distributed to the white society needs to be distributed back to the descendants of the people it was taken from.
Now, I'm gonna pause it right here, because we gonna eat with this. Okay, this is the main course. Everything else was the appetizers. It was prepping you for this. All right. So the reason why I said that is because there was people in the room. They were all like, "Oh, well, what about the pain and suffering and the mental health, and how are we going to get repaid for the mental health? And there's no way they can pay us what they really owe us because of all of the damage. And what about hospital bills and all that stuff?" And I'm like, look, we can't count, and they owe us that morally. They owe us that for what they did morally. But here's the thing, y'all. Can morality be calculated into a number, into a check? No, morality cannot be counted into a check. How are you going to count the morality? Okay, you can't do that. This is why I say, okay, well, we can have that conversation. There's room for that conversation. Let's talk about what we can count. All right, I'm on the numbers. I'm saying let's talk about the wealth. That's why I brought up the plantations, the industry, the houses. These things generated wealth. We can calculate the wealth. We can't calculate all the blood, sweat, and tears, but that damn wealth can be calculated, and that wealth needs to be given back to the people it belongs to. All right, that's why I said what I had to say.
Only them. Reparations is not a new concept. When Japanese were getting reparations, they were not talking about all Asia. They were not talking about all Japanese. They were talking about specifically the people that were harmed. America has done one thing, slavery, specifically to one group of people.
Now, the reason why I'm going to say this is because there was another, no disrespect, but there was a sister in there. She was all like, well, you know, some Haitians were in America and they were trading back and forth with America and South Carolina. So Haitians might be entitled to reparations. Okay, you guys can already guess that she's not FBA, or at least not full FBA. She admitted so herself. So I'm all like, hey, all this save the world. We love the world. I love all these black people, but let's just keep it a buck. Reparations ain't new. This ain't no new thing. All right. This ain't about saving the world. It belongs to one group of people the way reparations has always been done. We're not reinventing the wheel. The Japanese, that's why I brought up the Japanese. And notice when I brought up the Japanese, nobody had nothing else to say. The Japanese wasn't sitting up there talking about Asia. They weren't talking about even Japan. They were talking about the people who were harmed in those descendants. All right. I'm gonna get a check on that black. We're almost done. I know I'm pausing it a lot, but we really gotta cook with this.
The only people that need to get reparations. Everybody else can support, and that's it. The same way the Asians get it, the same way the Jews get it, the same way the Italians get it. It's not new. You know, once we get the money, then we can talk about the land. There's nothing we can do with the land without fertilizing it with the money. Once we get that. The problem is the fact that we're trying to talk about what we're going to do when we get it, and we have to come up with some consensus about what we're going to do. We need to talk about getting it, and whatever individuals want to do, that's fine. But what we need to get is money. That's first and foremost, nothing else before that, and then we can talk about land and programs and stuff. Okay.
Now, before we go, Alpha, before we get to your clip, brother, before we get to your clip, because we got a couple clips from you. This ain't the only one. Before we get there, brother, let's talk. What do you think about that stance,
brother? First off, salute to you, family. Okay, salute to you. I want everybody to understand this. This was real, genuine vanguard activism going on. We were really surrounded by a bunch of babble, a bunch of I'm not really even American. I think the Mars and the Jupiter folks was, elevating around the room a few times, brother. I don't know. There was a whole lot of funny style people. So when our brother stood up and stood on the lineage and made it crystal clear, that was our whole point. And notice, our brother didn't come at that situation yelling. He wasn't incoherent. He had facts. He wasn't cussing anybody out. At the end of the whole conversation, we went up to certain people and they were shaking our hands, hugging us, saying they wanted our phone numbers, all types of things. So you see, we came with real respectable energy as young businessmen and women who were in the place, and we handled ourselves with some real integrity and dignity, and we stood on the lineage in that fashion. When you stand on what you believe, but you do it with a passion and you do it crystal clear, you get anything accomplished. And one thing about Certified Foundational Black Americans, that goes for me and you, brother, and everybody in the chat. When we put our heart, our soul, and our mind on something, guarantee all the results are going to come. So I love the way you hit them with every single aspect of the historical nature of reparations, and you left no stones unturned. So they couldn't say, well, what about this? Or what about that? Any whatabouts were already canceled as soon as you finished, brother. So you put that down, and that's a certified mic check.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Now we got to get to your clip because, hey, man, you ate too, and there's more where this came from. All right. So this is his first clip, but this doesn't just include him. So we're gonna really break down everybody's take in this.
This is how I feel. I speak to everybody. We got to get over this back and forth and this, in between. We all know what reparations the United States of America. Okay, we live in a capitalistic society. If this is socialism, if this was communism, it'd be different. Everybody else receives money. The Jewish have received money. The quote unquote red Native American, the Japanese get it. And when you give it to the Japanese, you don't give it to the Chinese. You don't give it to the Cambodian or the Vietnamese. Okay. Foundational Black Americans, people who built this country, we are the ones who deserve reparations. And I'm talking about land and money. Why? Because we built this land and we got a lot of money from this land. It needs to come back home to us. All these things in between is just red tape. We got to get rid of all the red tape. We wasted too much time. We're in the 11th hour. We got to get to the money and we got to get to the land. We got to build it, okay? So anybody who's out here saying we got to give it to Haiti, I don't pay taxes to Haiti. I don't pay taxes to Ghana or Zimbabwe. Much love to them. I want them to get their reparations, okay? When they get it, they can come to this circle right here over there. We're going to stand right here as Americans and we're going to talk about it. So it's all about foundational Black Americans get money and land that we created because this is our country. All the social justice stuff is cool. But like my brother said, social justice can wait. We get money first and then everything else to come. So let's get to the money. Let's build the land, foundational Black Americans, and it all comes home.
Now, brother, gonna pause that for a minute. What was going through your mind, brother? You're spitting so much game, so much facts. Like, what was going through your mind?
Brother, after you got done talking and they start going in that circle, I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. When they get to that person right next to me, brother, I was like, oh, we about to hit them up. Hey, trust me. When you put two certified vanguards in the same place at the same time, talking on the same subject that we are definitely professionals on, oh, it's nothing but smoke. Nothing but smoke. And I just want to follow what you said, brother, because you laid out a lot of good points. And then I was like, well, let me lay out these points. And when you put them together, you unite the city, you step to the world as a weapon. There's nothing they could say. They kept talking about Haiti and Africa and all those places. And I wanted to be clear. I do not pay taxes to Haiti or Zimbabwe or Nigeria. Therefore, they have nothing to do with our lineage because, as we said, in the ideology or the logic of a Pan-African, there's no such thing as lineage. So if there's no such thing as lineage, but yet reparations are dished out by lineage, they're basically trying to leave us with nothing. So we had to make that clear. And I wasn't disrespectful. I said, hey, I don't mind if they get their reparations. I want them to get their reparations. If we're all black, brother, come home, brother. That stops at the point of you take care of your homeland. I'm going to take care of my homeland. And I said, we can come back and have a nice little circle. Y'all can go sit over there, but we're going to sit here as Americans because there's a whole lot of I'm not American. This country ain't never done nothing for me. And be honest with you, brother, that is outdated as hell. That went out in the 90s, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? That was old school. And I was really shocked and surprised that there's still type of, energy out there and people who really believe that. So no. Let's make this clear. We are foundational Black Americans. And I kept hitting these key points. Foundational Black American, getting to the money, and then everything else will follow in suit. So it was all about me and you just hitting them from different angles, brother, counterpunching where they were at, doing it in a respectful light, but at the same time, doing it to where they knew exactly the type of time we're on. Because one thing about foundational Black Americans that separates us from everybody else is when we talk direct. We say it with our chest. What they say, I said what I said. Well, me and you, we said what we said, and they heard it.
Yes, absolutely. And I like the fact that this isn't about hating nobody.
Nobody.
Because the thing is that anytime we say we're indigenous, we're indigenous to this land, or we are America, we're not trying to go back to Africa. It's, oh, you hate your blackness, you hate your melanin, and you don't love the motherland, brother. And what's wrong with your brother? You don't understand where you come from, brother. It's all of that stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with us hating or even disliking Africa or any other place where Black people live. This ain't got nothing to do with us hating or disliking Haiti, Jamaica, Nigeria, South America, Zimbabwe. It has nothing to do with us disliking anything. This is just being realistic. We don't live there. We're not them. We're not the same people. That's just realistic. All right. That's just what that is.
Facts, brother.
So, we're going to continue because we still got a lot. We still got a lot going on. So then now Sister JL comes up. It's her turn. So we're gonna listen to what she had to say.
And I would just like to say everything you said is pretty much what I believe. I feel like as far as Black Americans, we do not look for the government to give us justice. Like we just know a little bit better. I'm not trying to downplay what anybody else knows. I feel like as far as America, it's for Black Americans dating back to 1865. The reason why is because we're not in Haiti right now. We're not in Africa. And I think that's like the elephant in the room that nobody really wants to talk about. So if we're all brothers and sisters, I feel like internationally, everyone should fight for our justice claim because of the fact that what we did for civil rights, all Black people coming here, like we did that. It was because of us. It wasn't for Asian, white people, nobody but us. So if we're all brothers and sisters, we fight for our claim. Then once our claim is fulfilled, then we go over to the French, I believe, which is what Haiti's claim should be for, and we will have the resources to help everyone else, like we have always done and always been the blueprint for other nations.
I believe in.
Now hold on, before we get to him, let's break that down. I'm gonna say this. This is why it's good to have sisters come there and represent, okay? Because what happens to a lot of Black men who are masculine, who are strong and assertive, they're like, oh, you got toxic masculinity or whatever. You're a radical or whatever the case is. Even if you're not cursing, because me and Alpha never cursed the entire time.
Oh.
We never said anything rude. We never disrespected anybody the entire time. Now, we'll curse on our channels, but we didn't curse there.
Y'all know that.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So when she came up, and the point that I like the most is the fact that, okay, if y'all talk about this kumbaya, Pan-African stuff, why don't y'all help us? Why we got to help y'all all the time? Why it's got to be us saving y'all all the time? Why can't y'all support what we got going on, and then we can support the global thing? Why we got to save y'all first? Like, what is that about? So, Alpha, take it away, brother.
Man, I was over there in the background. Yup. Head nod. I'm talking about facts after facts after facts, and just a complete mic drop. You feel me? And I love that point that our sister made. Salute to our sister, by the way. I love that point that she made, because these people do not have a reciprocal relationship with us. It's one-sided, you know. And the very fact is that anytime foundational Black Americans don't want to be in something that does not benefit us, we're always hit with the "you're being mean" card. And I always say this: the world's just gonna have to step up from the "y'all being mean" stuff. This ain't the third grade. All right. They go way back to preschool with us. They be like, "You're mean. Y'all bad. Y'all divisive." Whatever type of tactic they can use to try to undermine our legitimate sentiments about how we are actually treated unfairly and unjustly by everybody, including those who pretend to be our friends. Think about this. If you're a foundational Black American, you have political party Democrats that you vote for at a 90+% rate for 60 years who pretend to be your friends and won't write you one policy. That's more fake, one-sided relationships. Then you have a whole diaspora of people who look like you. And I'm not just talking Africa. I'm talking about the Caribbean. I'm talking about Africa. I'm even talking about Black Brits and Black Canadians, okay? They all pretend to be our friends when it's money time, okay? So that's another one-sided relationship. When we look around and we scan the whole planet Earth, all 7 billion people on this earth, there is not one group, lineage, heritage, culture, country, or continent that is truly an ally of foundational Black Americans. The old saying, man, if you want a friend, look in the mirror, and that is personified by us. So this is why we stand together and we hold each other down, as we were doing, because there's about 4 of us in that room, and we were outnumbered by all of the babble and things we just really didn't agree with. Yet we stayed poised and we talked the way we needed to speak, and we were very, very, businesslike and professional, but we stood together. And that was really a microcosm of our existence. Foundational Black Americans, back to back, side by side, holding it down against the whole damn world. The one-sidedness is over. We are now ushering a new era, an era of foundational Black Americans, first, second, third, to infinity.
Now, one thing before we get to the next speaker, one thing that she brought up that was very important is anytime we talk about and this is going to set the precedent moving forward. Anytime we talk about Pan-Africanism going forward, let's not even talk about, we shouldn't have to help them, which we shouldn't. They're not entitled to our help. But what we need to talk every time, just ask this question. Okay, if we're all brothers and sisters and we're all one big Afro descendants, if that's the case, we're in this nation. Why don't y'all do what y'all need to do to help us? The same way we helped the South Africans with apartheid. That same way, or the same way we helped Haiti when they went through that earthquake. You know what I'm saying? Or Hurricane Katrina, right? Was that what I think that's what it
Haiti had an earthquake. No, Haiti had the earthquake.
It was an earthquake. My bad. When we was donating money to them, when we were getting mad at our government for not helping them, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, you see that situation going on right now in the Middle East?
Yeah.
And you're seeing our timelines being flooded with a whole bunch of where y'all Black Americans. They don't ever say just Black people. They always say, where's the Black Americans at?
Exactly.
And you're seeing that right now. So that's to your point. Absolutely, brother. It's still more trying to get us to help where nobody helps us.
Exactly. Kid Gravity brought up a good point with Ethiopia. How we supported Ethiopia and went there to Ethiopia is one of the only Black countries that has not been colonized. That's because of us. That's because of us. We defended them. They were going to lose if we didn't go over there and defend them. So when they're asking about why don't we want to help? Why don't we want to help? And they gaslight you and they make it seem like, oh, you don't want to help just because you just hate Africa. Be all like, no, okay, if we're all these brothers and sisters, damn, when are y'all gonna start putting into the pot? When are y'all gonna start helping? When are y'all gonna start supporting? When are y'all gonna have anybody else's back but your own? And let's be honest, do they even really got their own back with all the tribalism they got going on over there? We just gotta be realistic. We have to be realistic. So we got people in the chat room saying they donated $1,000 to Haiti after the, you know what I'm saying? So we've always been that way. So let's not gaslight. Like, we got it. The second we say we taking the capes off and we stopping trying to be the damn avengers of the planet Earth, now everybody wants to look at us like we the damn bad guy. Nobody made us the heroes. We just stepped up to the role. Now we're saying that, okay, if we're all in this together, y'all got to earn y'all keep. Y'all got to put y'all weight in. That's the only thing we saying. So next time they say it, don't even say why. Just ask, okay, let's be honest. Why are they not? Not why are we not? Why are they not? Why are they not helping? Why are they not supporting? Why are they not contributing? That's the question we need to ask going forward. Now, let's get back to the video. Let me take it back a little bit. Take it back a slight bit.
I believe in lineage-based reparations. I don't believe in giving programs or nothing. I believe in land and cash. And I don't want no parts of the system after we get that. It doesn't make sense to me to actually get money or whatever was stolen from us and pay it back to them. It's kind of retarded, but that's it.
So now that's what he had to say. Alfred, you there? Okay, as we waiting on our brother Alpha, this is the importance of being short and straight to the point. Programs. He said he don't want programs. All this we gotta, because they were talking about incarceration programs or programs to end the death penalty, programs for school vouchers, programs for Popeye's chicken, programs for free subway cards, programs for free Wi-Fi, programs for gas cards at Speedway, programs for this, programs for that. This, hey, give me money. I don't need no programs. I don't need no. You can keep. I don't need no programs. If you give me, I'm telling you, when have you heard rich people complain about needing programs? You need programs when you broke. That's why you need programs when you broke. When you not broke, you don't need no programs. So give us money, and we won't even need the programs.
Hey, brother, it's funny because when we get programs, then they say that we mooching off the government. then you get your welfare queen and all that, even though we're not even on it the most. Everybody knows this is the dominant society, So come on, it's the same con games, man. Same con games.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Now, this is the one a lot of people have been talking about this one. Now, I'm strictly on the money. We completely took that conversation and they were writing notes. You have folks writing notes about that. So people can understand we did get pushback. We haven't shown you all of the pushback that we've gotten, but we got some pushback, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show Alpha. You went up toe-to-toe essentially with one of the people who was a part of the California task force. Okay? She was a part of the task force from the California thing. Before we go, I think we got some super chats we got to address. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm slipping. I'm tweaking. Okay. We got did I get to Elbert for the $21 super chat? He says these are black people from these are black people that are from Mars. Yeah, apparently they from Mars. I would like to smoke that same type of pot. Yeah, she's smoking. She's smoking something. I don't know if she just smoking. It sounds like some heated spoons in that son of a gun. The way she talking. I don't know what she's smoking, sniffing, snorting. I don't know what she on. Shout out to Clarence for the $100 super chat. He says, "Great work, brothers. Great work to you, brother. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you." And then D-Dub 3000 sends a $20 super check, a $20 super sticker. Lord have mercy, my tongue twisted. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate every single last one of you guys for y'all support. Thank you, brothers. Now we gonna get to you because Alpha, you the one went toe to toe with the lady. The lady walked out mad. Let's get to it. Now this is
I'm gonna say this about reparations. This is how I feel. I speak to everybody. We got to get over.
Now this is the angle. This is a different angle, right? See if I can make it like tad bigger.
I'm gonna say this about reparations. This is how I feel. I speak to everybody. We got to get over this back and forth and this, in between. We all know reparations is the United States of America. Okay, we live in a capitalistic society. If this is socialism, if this is communism, it'd be different. Everybody else receives money. The Jewish have received money, the quote unquote red Native American, the Japanese get it. When you give it to the Japanese, you don't give it to the Chinese. You don't give it to the Cambodian or the Vietnamese, okay? Foundational Black American people who built this country, we are the ones who deserve reparations. I'm talking about land and money. Why? Because we built this land and we got a lot of money from this land. It needs to come back home to us. All these things in between is just red tape. We got to get rid of all the red tape. We wasted too much time. We're in the 11th hour. We got to get to the money and we got to get to the land. We got to build it, okay? So anybody who's out here saying we got to give it to Haiti, I don't pay taxes to Haiti. I don't pay taxes to Ghana or Zimbabwe. Much love to them. I want them to get their reparations. Okay, when they get it, they can come to this circle right here over there. But we're going to stand right here as Americans and we're going to talk about it. So it's all about foundational Black Americans getting money and land that we created because this is our country. All the social justice stuff is cool. I'm like my brother said, social justice can wait. We get money first and then everything else to come. So let's get to the money. Let's build the land. Foundational Black Americans, and it all comes home. Thank you.
All right, now hold on. Now that was another one. Now she felt some type of way about it, brother. Now listen. I want y'all to look at this. I'm sitting right next to her, so I can't, and that's me with my phone right there. So I'm like, that's why I'm recording Alpha JL Integrity. I'm recording y'all, right? She's mean mugging. I can just feel the heat when you talking. I can just feel the heat like resonating, like I'm next to a fire. I'm like, oh, she is hot right now. Cause she was the one who introduced all these programs and stuff like that. She actually essentially snitched on me to get me to stop recording the conversation.
Yes, she did.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. She wanted me to stop. When we tell you we dealt with ops, this is what we dealt with. She wanted me to stop recording.
She told the whole room. She was like, I just want everybody to know that he's recording right now. And are you supposed to? And the room was like, don't nobody care but you, old lady.
Yeah.
Nobody give a damn.
Brother, it was so awkward or whatever. Cause I'm holding my phone like this. I'm literally holding my phone kind of like my phone is like this, and I'm just kind of scanning around or whatever the case is, getting people angle. I'm not sitting up there holding my phone and all doing all like that, right? But like it wasn't no secret.
She was looking over your shoulder and shit.
It wasn't no secret that I was recording anybody or whatever the case. She was like, stop. She was like, in the middle of somebody, she was like, I gotta stop it. Does anybody, did you ask if you can record people? Like, what about their privacy? And I was cool with it. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to be rude or anything. Do you guys mind? Everybody's like, that's cool.
Hey, no disclosure. That's what she wanted, family. As we were saying earlier, this was not meant to be a round table discussion, okay? This was not what it's supposed to be. She thought she was going to go in there, have a conversation, and control the mic like they do with them California task force hearings, where you get a little 2 seconds to talk and then they cut you off. When the brother from Chicago, salute to him, you knew the guy. The guy from Chicago was like, man, I'm not having none of this conversation until we sit down and we get to talk to y'all. That's how we got the situation to where we could speak to them. She really thought she was going to come and just say some things and leave. When she realized that we were going to be able to talk back, see, that's what they don't want. They don't want us talking back. They want to say what they say, and then we just got to be quiet, hush, hush, and just take it and deal with it. When we talk back and we speak what's on our mind, and they got to look at us, man to man, woman to woman, mano to mano, that's when the game changes. So when we got in that circle, and then when our brother Afro said, yep, I'm recording, and then when he stood up and spoke, all of a sudden her whole demeanor changed, and she mugged me. And I think we're gonna play the clip here in a second.
The clip is right here. It's ready for you.
I cut her off. Like, she was just talking, and I was like, I'm not hearing this no more. And I was like, listen, lady. And she looked like she wanted to take her false teeth out and just gum me to death. I'm talking about, she was mad as hell. And she was pissed because there was no time. I sat back, we sat back, our lineage sat back. We don't have no more time to waste. So if you're ever in a situation where you're face to face with these people, you're not on their time, they're on our time. So I let her know all the time. You're going to have to be quiet. My brother going to record, and we're going to give you this FBA work, and you can take this all the way back to California and tell them some folks in the state of Georgia ran you off the block.
Exactly. Let's get into, I mean, first off, what is really the use of having a workshop if you're not recording anything, if you're not documenting stuff? This is how you get people engaged. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sitting up there it's like sneaking. I mean, and it was so awkward because everybody in the room was like, damn, she kind of tripping with that. She kind of, everybody's face was like, she kind of like tripping. But if you thought she was tripping in, wait till you see this.
have to say, I think I've been on the record for a very long time that I'm not against cash payments. I just don't see it as a strategy that will help us to address the multitude of harms and to address them in ways that benefit future generations, that we have to have something that's going to be into perpetuity. And as someone else said earlier, that gets at the mental health harms, the emotional and psychological and spiritual harms, as well as.
I just got a question. I was going to say, in America, you say health. Doesn't money required for healthcare in the United States of America? And doesn't it actually take money for everything that we do in the United States of America? And I ask that respectfully.
Yeah, but I would hope that we would not end up taking cash payments to pay for hospital bills. That we should have insurance that's covering something like that.
But is reparations based on hope or is it based on results? Because I can't hope that my light bill gets paid. It's going to get cut off. I'm going to be in the dark. Winter's coming up and I can't hope that the heat's going to stay on.
But I'm hoping that we wouldn't have reparations that allows us to have one generation be able to pay their light bill. And, and that's satisfactory that I have.
Well, why would we have it just in terms of one generation?
We're not supposed to be going back and forth.
That's that psychological. See, that's the part I want to say. We have a psychological thing that we have to solve. Like we don't.
Like what?
Like we talk about the crab in the bucket mentality.
Okay. Brother, what was going through your mind? Talk about it, brother. Talk about it. The floor is yours.
First off, she jumped in a wheelchair and she got out of there quick, brother. She was hitting the goddamn triathlon in a wheelchair. She rolled. That wasn't a chair, y'all. That was her wheelchair. She got out of Dodge, okay? And I noticed that she was trying to sell us hope. And literally, by words, she said, I would hope that we would have money for insurance. I would hope that we would have money for your light bill or for your cable bill or for your water bill. And I simply was like, well, hope in this country particularly don't get nothing done. I can't hope that my lights are going to be on. They're going to get cut off. I can't hope that the heat is going to be on. I'm going to be freezing. And all of a sudden, she is not used to somebody talking to her like that. This ain't California reparations panels, task force, where they can run that game on us. So I was on top of everything she said. Notice, every time she said something, I was snapped right back on her. And the sister over there on the side jumped in because we weren't done, brother. But the sister on the side, and salute to her, she's listening. You know what I'm saying? She off code a little bit, but it's all good. You feel me? It's all good.
Work in progress. It was no hostility.
No hostility, sister. You was off. You tap dancing a little. You didn't do the whole song. You did about 30 seconds of the song.
You had one tap shoe on. You had one tap shoe on.
One tap shoe. Hey, she got half the biscuit. She didn't even get the sprinkles. She just got half the biscuit, but it's all good. Maybe if she taps into our brother Afro Elite, she subscribes, smash that like button, everybody. If she taps into Black Alpha Network, then maybe she can learn a little something. But that's what we're here for. We're here to give lessons, and not just to the youth. We're here also to give lessons to the older folks. And when you give somebody a lesson, it doesn't necessarily have to be they agree. Sometimes you're going to have to get that hard lesson. Sometimes you're going to have to see Afro Elite and Black Alpha Network and everybody certified in the chat. And we're going to have to press you on like hope. We're going to have to press you on things like insurance and hope and wishing and coping. That has never served foundational Black Americans. We are about tangibles. And as I told her, is reparations about hope or about results? As soon as I hit her with the results, she flipped it. Then she, we're not going to talk about this. And let me give everybody.
She literally blocked you. She literally blocked you.
She was throwing that butter biscuit beam. She was beaming me with the butter biscuits. It was popping out of her.
The butter biscuit beam. You're like some Iron Man.
Hey, I was dodging. I had to pull out my Captain America shield, brother, because it was going down. But this is what me and my brother and our sisters were dealing with in this spot. But let me tell everybody this. After that was done, later, she mugged me the whole time. Like, even people around me were like, damn, she's mugging you, brother. She was mugging me just grilling me the whole time, right? She was still mad. She was going to do nothing, but she was still mugging, right? But after all of this, family, she didn't shake hands with nobody. Brother, when we sat in that room for another 15 minutes, she was gone. She got her stuff and left. I left and went to my car real quick to go handle something, came back, and she was putting on her coat. And she left the convention a good hour after that whole situation. Then we still had a whole hour left. She left. She didn't even go to the auditorium. She didn't hear the bad rapper. She didn't hear none of that stuff. She left out of that room, walked down that, or probably tumbled down the stairs, got back up, put her false teeth in, straightened out her little goddamn hair, and then she got a jacket on, put her coat on, and then she left. So literally, and by essence, we're downtown Atlanta. Literally, we can say that our brother Afro Elite, Black Alpha Network, Certified Black Society, and Foundational Black Americans. We ran her ass off the block. Yes, indeed.
Mind you, this ain't no small fry.
No.
This woman was on the task force of the California Reparations Task Force. She was a part of that. Okay, that's why she was all like, she knows what she's talking about. She imagine if she was a part of that, and Alpha was cool. He was respectful. He didn't cuss out. He didn't call her old. He didn't say nothing about her looks or nothing. He was like, man, I mean, but is this hope or money? You need, well, yeah, but what about the mental health? Pay for therapy. Shit. I mean, what about our mental health? We're gonna pay the therapist. We're gonna get the money to pay for this. I mean, what is this hope? They're turning, listen, they're turning with that type of language, they're turning reparations into some fantasy, into something where we're all going to just become Super Saiyans after we get reparation, and everybody's gonna be able to fly into the moon and back, and that's what they're turning us into. Something about well, we need to fix this problem, and Timmy is sad, so our reparations needs to be for sad kids, and then our reparations need to be for short people to get tall. We want the government to make short people tall, and our reparations need to make fat people slim, so there needs to be a gym program in the reparations. We need to have free gym memberships. You know what I'm saying? And what about people who don't feel like cooking? So we need personal chefs as part of the reparations. Don't reparations need personal chefs, right? You got to cook and clean. You need personal maids. That got to be a part of the reparation. Like, no, what are you doing?
Brother, can you tell everybody about the exchange you had? I'm not sure if we caught it. There was a lot of good stuff that didn't make the camera because there's so much going on.
It really was.
Brother, tell them about when dude was cutting the lights off. You know what I'm talking about.
I got that clip. I have that clip.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got that clip.
It's going down,
man,
y'all.
Cut the lights off on me. Okay, hold on. Let me show y'all. Oh, I got to take it back from the beginning.
System of economic leverage to oppress a group.
Now, why open that up? Because it started before, as I was talking. I opened that up because I'm all like, okay. They're all like, they oppress us, they oppress us. I'm like, yes, they oppress us because they hate us. We understand that they hate us. But the reason why they're able to oppress us so particularly and so effectively and for how long is because we are poor. That's the reason. Like, if we want to even look at the situation with Ozone was able to pretty much make it out of the situation, at least to a large degree, because the community financially supported him. When people like Ozone get in those types of situations, they don't tend to have a lot of financial support. So it's one, because we're black and the system of white supremacy hates black people, but they can effectively target us because we are poor. They hate a lot of people, but they can't do it to them like they do it to us because they are not poor like we are. All right. That's what I was saying. So I'm letting you know how I opened it. All right. So let's continue.
People. They don't like a lot of people, but they can't oppress a lot of people the way they can us.
Can you turn that light off?
People.
Can you turn that
That's
light off?
Thing.
Real quick. Turn it, flick it again. Okay. Somebody.
Yo, I'm. If y'all look at my facial expressions, I was so confused. I'm looking with the light. Hold on. What did he turn the lights off? I don't know where he going with this. Like okay. I'm looking back and forth. Look. My spidey senses just started tingling at that point. I'm sitting up there like, oh, I don't know. I'm looking at Black Afro like, hey, we might have to scrap in a minute. I don't know why he turned the lights off.
Let's go.
I'm something looking around the whole room like, who else is in here? Oh boy.
Just got paid. How is cash payments going to put that kind of money in your pocket? See, some white companies get paid. That money's funneled to the government. Okay. I'm just trying to give you a bigger picture of cash payment alone not going to do it. Every time you turn on your heat,
I swear I wanted to say something so bad. Listen, I literally, I'm telling you guys, I literally had to bite my lip not to say. Look at me do that. As I lean back, I'm like, is this nigga serious? I'm literally looking like, really, nigga, really? You turn the lights off for this? I'm okay. Hold on. I want y'all to catch. I had to bite my lips not to say I'm really
trying to give you a bigger picture of cash payment alone not going to do it. Every time you turn on your heat in Chicago, you know you need heat. Some big white corporations getting paid. Every time you turn on the light, every time you buy a car, every time you put up gas. How is cash payments going to solve those for us?
I didn't say it was. That's the thing. I'm not saying cash.
We need reparations.
Hey, I calmly respond. Listen, I count. Y'all see the way I say okay. And then it's I didn't say it was. Look, notice how I didn't snap off. He cut me off. I was the only one he cut off. All right. He cut me off, and I'm still being very calm. I didn't say it was. Nobody said that.
Every time you put up gas, how is cash payments going to solve those for us?
I didn't say it was. That's the thing. I'm not saying cash.
We need reparations, as the definition says.
And then he said, you see, I raised my eyebrows. Really, okay.
Errors and wipe out any injustices as if it had never occurred.
And this is what the thing is that when it comes to talking about reparations, Black people get together and talk about
that's your nemesis, Alpha. Your nemesis out there pointing at you. That's your nemesis right there, brother. Okay.
Every single problem that we've ever faced and everything that we're going through. When other groups of people have gotten their reparations, they talk about what has happened to them and how they need to be repaired. They don't talk about all the problems in the world. What has happened to us has not happened to us overnight and won't be fixed overnight. The money is going to be the foundation of us getting everything else. That's going to be the step 4, 5, and 6. But we're on step 4, 5, and 6, and we have not gotten one established. 1 and 2. Who gets reparations? That's 1. And who gives it to us? That's 2. Then we move on to all these other things.
See, now we couldn't record. I'm telling you, it was a lot of stuff we couldn't record. Our phones was low. We were there the whole day. This happened hours and hours and hours after the event had started. So it's not like we had time to like charge our phones or anything like that. All right.
Hey, both of our phones died in that room, if I'm not mistaken, right, bro?
Both our phones died in that room.
Damn.
Shout out to Darice for the super chat. Thank you very the Cash App. Thank you very much. This is why and you see how calm and respectful. I was like, no, I'm not saying that it is. I didn't insult him. I didn't insult anyone. I'm not saying that it is. The thing is that when it comes to us and we sit down and we talk about reparations, and that's why I said Black people have a thing where we talk about all the problems and issues we go through. Okay, that's not what reparations is for. Reparations is not going to be a magic wand, a wish from a genie. Reparations is not going to turn every Black American into a billionaire overnight. That's not what reparations is for. All right. Reparations is going to be the tools that we need in order to fix all the other problems. That's what that's for. It's not realistic to even have the expectation for reparations to make everybody in the world super great and happy. That's not a realistic expectation. All right. That's why I'm like, okay, yeah, you're talking about the lights. When we get the money and we get the land, we can have our own light companies. We can have our own car lots. We can have our own gas stations. But if we're doing it in that way, we'll never get anything. Because we need our own beauty supply stores. That got to be a part of reparations. We need our own restaurants. That got to be a part of reparations. Our own chicken spots. That got to be a part of reparations. We need our own vegan spots for the people who don't eat chicken. So that's got to be a part of reparations. Okay, we need our own daycare center. Okay, we need our own cursing. Look. We are not going to add a billion things into the reparations thing. We're not going to add that. When we get the money, that's the first thing. I'm not saying that's it. Because there's a lot we have to do after that. But when we get the money, the cash, when we get that, then everything else can start flowing. Okay? When we get that, then we have legislation to keep us from capital that stricts us. Because, for instance, Tariq talks about this in his issue with the museum, how they're always kind of like giving him a hard time with getting programs and grants and stuff like that. So when we have the land, but we can't do nothing, just like Bruce's Beach. This is why I said, why I opened it. You can't do nothing with land unless you have money. There's nothing you can do with anything unless you have money. Money's not gonna fix everything. It's not no magic wand that you can poof and we're all the Black Panther, King of Wakanda. It's not gonna happen. But it's going to be the most significant engine, start, push, and drive for our total liberation and empowerment. Alpha, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that,
brother? And we spoke about this, me and you, family. It's so funny that they tell us how unachievable money is, but yet they turn around and tell us creating Wakanda is very, very plausible. It literally makes no sense. So the government's not going to cut us a check, but yet they'll allow us to make our own sovereign country inside of America, and we can have our own grocery stores, schools. They were literally talking about having your own military, y'all. They said we can have our own Black military in America, like, you know, the W would ever allow that, right? So it just shows you again that they are afraid of the money. They are afraid of getting money. They want to get reparations and be safe. They want to be safe. They want to just go to a little place where they can, you know, tap dance for butter biscuits or whatever they want to do, but they want to be safe. And one thing you realize about Pan-Africanism as a, you know, an illogical ideology is that it's Disneyland. As a matter of fact, Disneyland is worse because I can tell you where Disneyland is. Disneyland is in Orlando. You can go to California. Where the hell do I got to go to see Pan-Africanism? It does not exist. But what you see is that they always try to put this on us, and they begrudge us if we're not really down with that Pan-African, you know, fantasy world, Disneyland, you know, where all these fake things are going to occur. That is the type of time and energy that they're on. And quite frankly, it's not. If y'all notice, everything that we were saying, okay, we were basing it in logic. Everything could actually happen. We're operating within the system of the United States of America. We're not creating a Wakanda in the middle of America or in the Atlantic Ocean, some goddamn. We're on a small island. We're operating here in terms of politically, socially, structurally. We actually are operating based on heritage and lineage. We're doing it the proper, just fashion. They want all of us to subscribe to their Disneyland. And if we don't want to go hang out with Mickey Mouse, if we don't want to go hang out with Donald Duck, then they get mad at us and they say we're being divisive. Well, we're just going to be divisive because I ain't going down to Disneyland. I ain't hanging out with Mickey Mouse. I'm going to be hanging out at the bank getting this money with a whole lot of zeros. And we just got to get to the point where if these people who argue against cash reparations, if they don't want them, then just don't take it. That's fine. Y'all go over there. Y'all can chase Wakanda for another 700 years. We're going to be right here in foundational Black America, getting foundational Black American reparations checks that belong to us based upon the slave labor of our ancestors and us being the offspring of them.
Exactly. Exactly. This is why I literally opened it up by saying, hey, whatever we do with the money, that's why I keep saying in the steps. That's why I keep, hey, y'all own 5, 6, and 7. What y'all gonna do with the money? That's 5, 6, and 7. Okay, you know how folks get a job and then they start calculating about, okay, I get paid on Friday. What I'm gonna do on Friday? I'm gonna buy me some new shoes on Friday. You ain't started working yet. Don't calculate what you're gonna do with your check when you ain't got it yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's gonna be. You don't even know if you. That's like not even if you get the job. You fill out a job application and you starting to think about what your check's gonna look like. You ain't even got the job. You a few steps ahead of what you really need to be. What I said the entire time was essentially we don't have to agree on what you want to do. Now with us, now we understand over here, Foundational Black Americans, we are going to empower Black society and ultimately dismantle the system of white supremacy. Ultimately, that's the goal, right? But some people might not want to do that. Some people might want to go back to Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's why I opened it up with saying, if y'all want to go back to Africa, fine. I'm not going. First off, ain't no back for me. My people are here. So ain't no back for me. But I'm not, no diss, but I'm not going to live. No. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what they want to do with their money, I can't tell them that they're wrong. But the thing is that we don't have to agree. on what you want to do. I might want to buy a big house in the woods in a big nice cabin. You might want to get a penthouse at the top of the tallest building in the world. I might want to build businesses. Somebody might want to live in a farm in the middle. That's their choice. That's their choice. And we do not have to agree on any of that. There's only really two things. I'm gonna add like a 2.5 things that we have to agree on. Number one is that we are foundational black Americans. These are the only group of people who get slavery reparations in America. That's number one. We can't go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before we get to that one. Number one, only the people of the lineage, only their descendants get reparations. Nobody else, no exceptions at all. Period, point blank. It stops there. That's the one thing we have to agree on. Number two, we are owed money from the American government. We are owed money from the United States of America. Okay? We're not owed Bitcoin because people was talking about that. Remember, Alpha? People was talking about Bitcoin and gold and cryptocurrency. We're not owed cryptocurrency. Our slavery didn't build cryptocurrency. Our slavery didn't build Bitcoin. Okay? We got wealth. We're owed that. Give us that. And if we want to buy Bitcoin, if we want to buy cryptocurrency, we can do that. Because y'all giving money to Ukraine, billions and billions of dollars of finances, American finances. Y'all not giving them billions and billions of dollars in cryptocurrency. Y'all not giving them that in Bitcoin.
Nope.
Y'all not giving them that in stocks and bonds. All right. Y'all giving them that in money and telling them they can do what they want to do. They're giving illegal immigrants money coming over here in Chicago and other places. They're giving them checks. They're not giving them gold coins like this is Super Mario. They're not giving them cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stocks and bonds. They're not getting them interest. They're not giving them none of that. So don't play us. You need to give us money. All right. If inflation goes up, then the dollar goes up. Then give us more dollars. That's what it is. They talking about the dollar is crashing. Well, give it to me right now before it do. Let me get that right now before it do. All right. Those are the two things. Who we are, who gets it, that's one. Can't go nowhere without that. Number two, we are owed money. Now, if you want to say money and, I don't have a problem with and. I don't. I really, really don't. But money is first. Money is first. You want money? You want money and land? Okay, fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Money and a program, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But money first. I want money to be the first thing on the list. And then y'all can have a little plus sign or y'all can write under that. If y'all put anything above the money, I'm like, hey, somebody needs to rewrite this now. Hold on. Nothing coming before the money. What do you think? But brother, talk to the people. Tell people that those are the only things we have to agree on.
Facts, man. That right there, brother. Money, 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 money. I got a saying on the Black Alpha Network. I say, cream, cash reparations everywhere around me. You feel me? That's what it's all about. It's got to start in cash. Only when it comes to us does reparations get away from money. You feel me? That's why I like the way you phrase that, brother. It's money, money, money. Stop, money, money, more money, more money, more money, more money. That's it. Then, as you say, brother, we can work on everything else. You don't go to a negotiation table and say, okay, I'm going to work for your company, but I don't want to get paid. Okay, so money's not even an option. They say, how much do you want to get paid? Oh, no, I don't want any money. And I'm going to work, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, like our ancestors did, but I don't want any money. You know what I'm saying? This is about negotiations. And this is why I love the way we conducted ourselves, brother, because we were very businesslike, very businessmen. The reparations is really just about business because that's what politics is. Politics is all business. So if you're coming to a negotiation table and you're telling the people that I don't even want the damn money, get your ass out of here. You ain't speaking on us. Okay. Yeah. I don't need no lawyer that does not understand money. I don't need any advocate that doesn't understand money. I don't need any economist that does not understand money. This is why they give us people with our reparations that are not economists. Okay. They don't have no economists in them. Me and you, brother, have more intelligence on the economy and being an economist than half of these 70, 80-year-old people that they put on these panels. What do they really know about money? You know what I'm saying? Other than Foundation of Black Americans can't get none. That's all they know about the economy. Just keep it away from us. So I like the way you phrase that, family. It's got to start in money. That's number one. We're lineage-based cash payments, and everything else falls into place. And if you just take care of those two things, everything is good. So what we're doing, and all of us have been tasked with this, is we're just simplifying the BS. We're just simplifying the BS. And Dr. Claude Anderson spoke about this. He said how they're going to try to muddy the waters. They're going to try to red tape the whole reparations conversation. Family, reparations is not that difficult. You said it and I said it to a room full of people who are way older than us, by the way.
Yeah.
We said this to them. We said it's already been laid out. You can look at all these other groups, and you can look at people like Dr. Claude Anderson, who laid this out 30, 40 years ago. So
shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson.
Salute. And everybody has to understand is that we have elders, we got economists, we got very intelligent people. I know that they try to keep them away. I know they don't want to put them on these panels. I know that they don't want to have these conversations with them, but we're going to speak for them, through them, to everybody, and we're going to keep on hitting them until they get the message that it's about lineage, cash payments, and whatever else you want to do, you better run them tangibles.
Thank you. Shout out to our good sister Martha for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, my good sister. Now, I'm going to say this. Since we got that, there's been a lot, Alpha, now it's time to get to the nitty gritty. There's been a lot of people who are hating, okay? People who are hating because really with me, you, in that room, it was that room specifically with me, you, with our sister JL and our brother Integrity, what we did, we locked it down and we stood so gracefully, something our ancestors could look on and be proud of, right? So much so, and when we said, hey, this is how we do it, we had people getting mad because what we did was we raised the bar. We raised the bar. Now, people are going to follow, of course, but they're upset that we raised that bar. I want to let people know I've had this Black American heritage flag right next to the FBA flag. I had the FBA flag first. Then I got the Black American heritage flag over a year ago, well over a year ago. Okay. There's people who are using it now, who are waving it now. They was on some we all Indian at the time. They was wearing feathers and bows and arrows and all that stuff. Now you see them doing that. Now they looking at what I did, and then they start copying me. I talked to them about what being on code is. They looked at what I did, then they start copying me. I had the YouTube channel. They looked at what I did, then they started copying me. Alpha, you are the man. You went to Jacksonville, Florida, okay, right after that Black massacre to give us live on code B1 reporting from that, from an FBA rider over there. The only one. You did that. Now they're in Jacksonville. So tell us, brother, what is it like to just be leading by example, to be the standard bearer, to be the trendsetter, okay, the trailblazer? Tell us what that's like. Tell us what that's like, brother.
Respect is not given, it is earned. The very fact, family, that we can sit here every single week, dedicated, do not miss our shows, do not miss our airtime, put in work, extensive research, just so we can make sure that we give everything. We put our heart and soul in this, understanding that we walk in the path that our ancestors have left us. You feel me? We still feel their energy. We stand on their shoulders and we take it serious. We're not just people running around here talking about the bloodline and all this kind of stuff. We really, true to life, hold on to this lineage for the people. So the very fact that we can pack 400 plus people in these rooms, the very fact that we can do our thousands of views, the very fact that people have come to us personally, and you've been there when these people are talking to me, I've been there when these people are talking to you, and we've been there together when they're talking to both of us, taking pictures with people that we can meet at rallies, at expos, in the streets, whatever, because we're really out here. Anybody could be outside, but we in the paint. There's a big difference between the two.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Hold on, say that again. I like that. Say
anybody. Anybody can be outside. Matter of fact, after the show, I'm going to take my dog outside. Okay. He likes going outside all the time. So does the neighbor's dog. Anybody can go outside. What you doing when you outside? You in the paint? You holding it down? You in the trenches? Do the people love and respect you? Or do the people feel that you're ratchet? You're loud, you're ignorant. Do you put smear and smut on the community? Do people really stand next to you? Do people come up to you and tell you that your words have inspired them? Or do you just go out here, say a bunch of things, loud as hell? Whoever's speaking the loudest doesn't mean that they're speaking the realest, okay? They just being loud. Yeah, they is. So there's a lot of people out there that have been hating on a lot of things that not just us, me and you, but as well as some of our other brothers and comrades, as well as everybody in the chat. They don't like the energy that we put out, because anytime you walk into a room, family, and everybody's over here and they're getting along, then you got those two people over there in the corner and they don't get along with nobody. They always got a problem. What did he say on Friday? When Craig's Pop told Smokey to get out, he said, get out here. You always got some shit going. All right. There's some people that always got something going, always in some drama. It's cool to be loved and respected by your people. That means you earned it. It's cool for people to rock with you, because guess what? The people love us, and I love the people right on back. This is a family affair. This is a family tree. Nobody's bigger than anybody. Ain't nobody special. We all stand together as one, okay? So when you come back from a triple homicide that you're out in the streets about, and you're really in a very dangerous area like I was covering it, and then I had so many people calling me and texting me, a lot of people who are in this chat right now, y'all know who you are, were DMing me, texting me, or just hitting me up saying, hey, bro, where you at? I'll send you money. I got you back. I'll cover all the expenses. And I'm like, no, you good. But it was the love. And I always tell you, I told you before I told my mother, I said that situation changed me. I already knew the love from the family, but I feel it on a deeper level now. So when you can go out there and you can be in front of the FBI and the ATF, and you can cover the real story about Black people being harmed, and then we can broadcast it to the whole family, and all of us together as foundational Black American brothers and sisters, we can really help each other heal and build each other. When you do that, and then you get on Twitter and you got some big out of shape 350-pound guy on the other side of the country trying to text you or DM you, why weren't you in Atlanta at the task force hearing? Oh, by the way, I was just in Atlanta yesterday, but okay, anyway, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you down here, okay, you can't talk to somebody up here. You can talk to them, but they ain't listening, okay? So it shows you, if someone does something that you like and you respect it, you give them the respect. But we have a bunch of folks who are low budget bottom feeders, and they don't like what you do because they don't like you. And that ain't the way it's supposed to go. Okay. Your heart is supposed to have control over your mind, not the other way around. And these folks operate on that different level. So these folks have always existed in the community. These are the people who always were running into Huey Newton. These are the folks that always had problems with Martin Luther King, with Malcolm X, with Tupac. These are the people who see the energy of our community and they want all of the shine. But guess what? You can get on Twitter. You can fire up a Twitter space. I'm sure there'll be a Twitter space probably tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The secret life of Alpha and Afro, or whatever the hell they come up with. And it's probably going to get about 2 listeners. And last time I checked, we got about 400 in here. So it shows you once again that when you stand on the lineage, you stand on the heritage, and you really show love and respect to your people, and they love and respect you back, Twitter don't mean nothing. Out of shape folks who don't nobody know who they are mean nothing. And anybody who put little born arrows and stuff in their emojis, family, don't mean nothing. I said that.
Hey, oh boy. This man said, hey, I don't give a damn what Hawkeye has to think. You're the weakest Avenger anyway.
He ain't got no special powers. Come on.
Listen, you wasn't even in all the Avengers movies.
Come on.
But I'm gonna say this. When it comes to representing your people well, this is why I do what I do with the people I do it with, because these are the people who represent the people well. Okay, I want you guys. I tell you guys a little bit about me. Sometimes sometimes I have to, because my stuff get leaked and doxed and stuff like that. But I tell you guys about my life and how I've grown and developed in becoming the person I am. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a doctorate in anything. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a doctor in psychology. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. I'm not those things. I'm not a professor or anything like that. So I'm not saying that a person has to have this high PhD or anything, because I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying a person has to be dressed from head a 3-piece suit every day. I don't. I'm not saying you got to wear very expensive jewelry, Rolex watches, and be driving a Benz, because I don't. I don't have a Benz or a Rolex. I don't. But that doesn't need to be what you need to represent the people well. You represent the people with grace and integrity. You use your passion. You filter your passion with wisdom and with discipline. I'm gonna tell you guys something. You can look up this interview. Fred Hampton, he was the chairman of the Chicago Black Panther Party, did an interview in 1969 where they were asking, because there was a lot of other organizations around besides the Black Panthers, other organizations. I'm not even going to necessarily say their name because I don't want to throw smoke, but organizations were filled with younger people. And Fred Hampton, who at the time was still essentially like a kid almost at the time. He was a very young man. He just entered into adulthood at that time. He said, yeah, they're young. Yes, they're passionate. Yes, I understand where they're coming from. I get their anger and their want to see change. But there's a way you do that. You have to be Fred Hampton. I believe he was either 19 or 20 years old when he said that. You have to be disciplined. He didn't say you had to be educated with a PhD or have books or be no big shot. He said you have to be disciplined. That means you can't run up in a stage and tell people to get your wares down and you ain't this and I'm this and I got royal blood of the Wakanda. He said no, be disciplined, represent your people well. That's one of the, I'm wearing and I specifically decided to wear this Black Panther point shirt out because that's the point I wanted to make. When the Black Panthers took any type of pictures, all of them you saw had their hair picked out. Do you know how many hundreds of Black Panther Party members there were? Do you think they all had big ass afros? Honestly, a lot of people don't think about it. Do you think every single Black Panther Party member had a big ass afro? All of them? No, they all didn't. But they knew when it was time to take pictures and get in front of a camera or to do a speech or to do a photo op, they want to have a certain look because they're trying to send a certain message. The afro sends a certain message. So they were like, okay, well, the people who don't get it, y'all can get behind the camera, but the people who have it get in front of the camera. They all dressed the same. Do you think they dressed that way every day, all day? Honestly, do you think that they dressed that way every day, all day? No. But they wanted, anytime they were in front of the camera, anytime it was time to represent the people, they knew they needed to represent the people well. They needed to represent the people with the highest level of esteem. So they dressed to the nines. All of them had their hair looking a certain way to send that message. All of them did. Dr. King, he chose, and some people might not know, but he chose Rosa Parks for the Montgomery bus boycott over another woman. And he chose her specifically over the other woman because she had a baby out of wedlock. And because that wouldn't have made the message look as good. Rosa Parks, because of her history, she makes the message look better. It's you can't just do it because you want to do it. I know you want to do it. I know you do. And you should. But do it with discipline, understanding this is not about you getting some shit off your chest. And I tried not to curse this whole stream. I went 2+ hours. This ain't about you getting stuff off your chest. This is about you representing the people and representing them well and being powerful and making a statement. Alpha, tell them we couldn't leave the room without damn near signing autographs. We couldn't leave the room without them asking, hey, where's your number? Where you from? Can I talk to you? I want you in my movie. We couldn't leave the room without that because we represented the people well. And for everybody who claims they represent the people and who's not on that page, I say to them, they're almost eight. I look at them as agents. If you're not if you don't care to represent I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I'm gonna say, if you don't care to represent your people well, if you don't have the dignity and the grace enough to even try to represent your people well and to go out there and deliberately embarrass the people and embarrass the movement, I'm calling you an agent. To me, you are controlled opposition. We've been talking about controlled opposition, but in my mind, that's controlled opposition. Alpha, tell them how people wanted to talk to us after of the thing.
Pure strangers, brother. Didn't know these people no more than 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, as long as we were in the room. You know, one thing about us, brother, is that we lead with respect. We lead with respect. You know what I mean? We walked up to a lot of them and shook their hands, you know, and told them who we were and what we were about, or they came and shook our hands. And we were leading with respect because we understood if we're going to be here, even though we surrounded by all these ops and whatever, we still are representing this lineage. You can't sit here all day and talk about certified Black society. Talk about foundational Black American. Talk about freedmen. Can't talk about the lineage and put all of your policies on the lineage, but yet you give the lineage a bad name with bad behavior. You can't do that. You know, you got to represent everything. We all represent who we are as a person, but we also represent our family tree. And everywhere we go, we got to represent foundational Black Americans to the fullest. It does not matter. When it's time to get real, we're going to get real. But at the same time, we're going to do it with real dignity and respect. And we don't throw that or sacrifice that for nobody. We don't submit it. So a lot of times we put out fires that other people have done and created in the name of the lineage. But this has always happened throughout history. The Black Panthers had to put out fires at a bunch of off-coded people who probably won't even be pro-Black or pro-lineage in 3 years anyway. You see how a lot of these people already flipped up 17 times in 1 year any damn way. They're probably going to flip up 18, 19, 20 here soon. So I'm talking to the people who are foundational Black Americans today, who will be foundational Black Americans tomorrow, and they're going to pass that baton to the next generation of foundational Black Americans. We're not going to pass them hope. We're not going to pass them wishing. We damn sure are not going to pass them a bunch of ratchet, off-coded behavior. We're going to pass them some real respect. We're going to pass them some real strength and power, and that's what we all do. And everybody in the chat right now, this is how we come at it. You, me, all of us. We come with real, genuine energy, and genuine energy. All it does is duplicate itself, and it replicates itself, and then we take it from here all the way to the top. Ain't no stopping, brother.
I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better, brother. And this is why we're speaking of representing, for those who don't know, me and our brother Alpha, we decided not just to represent in this time. Check this out. Brother, is that not when we talk about representing, brother? I'm letting you guys know this now. We are going to show you guys what representing means, not just at the conventions, but I'm talking about everywhere. We are going to show you how to represent the lineage powerfully, okay? Brothers and sisters, shout out to our sister Zizi. She's a part of that, all right? This is brothers and sisters, not just Black men, but Black women as well too, representing together, working together, representing and making the lineage look good, making people like, damn, who is these people? They asked us, Alpha, right? Tell me if I'm lying. They asked, like, hey, what organization are y'all from?
Yeah.
So many people like, what organization do you work for? I don't work for none. They almost passed out. They couldn't take it.
That tells you, brother. That just tells you the type of time that they feel we're so, eloquent with the way we move and, so gracious the way we talk and we represent our people, but we're not represented from an organizational standpoint. We're represented from a lineage standpoint. And there's a whole lot to be said about that. And that's why everybody was coming up to us and we was the talk of the whole space. Because like we said, man, we went there. And by the way, let's make this clear to everybody. We weren't organizing in the backdrop. This wasn't some get together. This wasn't no pull up. This was us standing on the, because there's one thing people gonna do. All right. A lot of y'all already know this. Okay. People are either going to ignore your accomplishments or they're going to try to make it look like your accomplishments are theirs. Okay.
Yes.
And there's 100 different ways where people do that. They wait till you move and then they jump in on it. Well, we got to deal with that with the tethers all the time. Foundational Black Americans go in the streets. We get an immigration law passed. They come over here. Foundational Black Americans, we start talking about reparations and then they start talking about it. The same thing goes on with your personal life, okay? The greater collective is just a reflection of what we deal with individually. So when we get out here and we create, you know, a lot of accomplishments and we do things for the family, you're going to have a lot of people now trying to say it was them. So as me and you went and, you know, did our thing, we held it down, we represented, there was a lot of folks that weren't there that were trying to jump in and say that it was them and it was an organization and we organized and a lot of nonsense like that. And to the whole family, that's not what this was. This was not no pull up. This was just young activists who seen something that needed to be done. As our good brother Tariq Nasheed said last night, man, we went down there and kept our eyes on things so we can report it back to everybody. We didn't go down there for ourselves. We went down there for everybody. Everybody. It's the same reason why I went to Jacksonville and put myself in danger on the front line. The same way with our brother Afro Elite, I've seen him up to 5 a.m, you know, putting together notes for a reparations committee that he put together. You feel me? We do this so we can bring it back to the family. We can talk and speak to the family. So So if you hear anybody running around here saying it was a successful pull up and it was a successful gathering, first off, there's no such thing as a successful pull up because I've been waiting for one and I still ain't seen them ever have one. But that's
not one. I mean, they had little picnics or something.
I seen a reparations fish fry. I seen a reparations fish fry in Florida, and Clyburn wasn't even there. So when you're having reparations fish fries, hey, they just scratched out fish fry and they put in pull up. You dig? But you was pulling up for fish and there wasn't none there. So it's all about us, man. You know, reporting to the family and everything. But we did this on our own. The same way we're gonna tap back in and you know, that beautiful graphic that y'all just seen a second ago. We're gonna bring that as well, and the family's gonna tap in. And we're gonna do what we always do when you put a whole bunch of people in the chat with us all together: New Black Media, Black Grassroots, Certified Black Society, Foundational Black Americans, Black Alpha Network, Afro Elite. We're gonna continue, you know, to lead with respect, and we're gonna continue to make everybody proud.
Thank you very much. Shout out to Kiara. I don't mean to mispronounce. Shout out to I keep saying super chat, the Cash App. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, fam. Alpha, we've been on for 2.5 hours breaking this down to the fullest. Nobody could have done this better than us. I want you guys to understand nobody could have done this better than me and him. All right, as far as the breakdown, nobody. All right, from the top to the main events to the workshops and all of what that means for the people and for this controlled opposition. Okay, these people are getting paid to keep us on this treadmill, okay, of going nowhere. That's what this is. Alpha, I'm gonna let you get the last word. Tell me what you can give us the last word, and then tell people where they need to reach you.
All right, man. This was an amazing thing, man. We were looking forward to it. We kind of put this together, you know what I'm saying? Really, we was like, yo, bro, Atlanta, let's go. Because to be honest with you, hush. They were the whole people who put the event together, they were keeping that quiet. But I want the family to understand. You name me one time you've seen a panel that had Democrats, Hebrew Israelites, Pan-Africans. It had the New Black Panther Party. It was at a college. This was a well-funded machine, okay? Yeah. That really was probably about a couple $1 million to put together. I'm talking about from flights all the way to everything. It was done very well. Now, the rapping wasn't really good. The speeches weren't really good. Yeah. But in terms of them putting it together, it was well. This was no, back channel rally where there's 6 people outside. It was none of that. It wasn't at a 7-Eleven or a pit stop, okay, or stop and go. This was at a college. So when we went there together as, certified foundationals, and there was only about 3 or 4 of us, but we stuck together. So it tells you that when you have 3 or 4 foundational Black Americans, it goes the same where all you got to have is 100 certified Black Americans. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to change the whole country. And that's what we were trying to do. So it was an event, and we went there. We stood on the lineage. Just so happened that our energy allowed us to talk. We put it down. We sent, an old, bitter, wicked witch of the East running all the way back to California. She probably right now is like that Black alpha bastard. I can't wait to see him again. You know what I'm saying? But wherever you are, lady, much respect. Foundational Black Americans, cut the check. Y'all can catch me on the Black Alpha Network. I'm going to go live tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The title of the show is going to be talking about reparations. And I'm just going to continue to bring the heat, man. But y'all tap in, y'all subscribe, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button to this video right here. And if you're not subscribed already to our brother, subscribe to him. Make sure you subscribe before you hit the 10K. Make sure y'all man. So y'all be on the before 10K because y'all know after the 10K, you're going to take off like a jumbo jet, man. But salute to you, brother. It was good working with you in Washington. Brother, I done seen you in 3 different cities. We outside.
Yeah, we outside.
We catching planes outside, okay?
Yeah.
So DC, Dallas, Atlanta, somewhere else soon, coming to a city near everybody, man. But much respect to you, brother. I appreciate holding you down. Like I told you when we left, bro, I was like, I got your back, bro. And that's how we do, man. So much love to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all tap in with the Black Alpha Network, certified.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you, brother.
Peace out, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that was the Black Alpha. That's Black Alpha from the Black Alpha Network. You guys go, make sure you guys support his channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. He's got a live broadcast coming up tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that, because if you thought today was hot, you thought today had a lot of smoke, which it did, you guys are not going to want to miss his stuff, because it's going to be a back-to-back. It's like a marathon. It hit you back-to-back. It's this left and right. It's the hook and the jab. That's what this is. We've been on here for a long time, giving such thorough breakdowns of everything that happened from start to finish, all of the agendas, all of what they mean, all of what the speakers mean, all of the code words, what we did in the workshops, how we held it down, how to hold it down. We've done a thorough job. So salute to you all for being here, for everybody for supporting, for all of you guys. Okay. Now, what Black Alpha did say is very important. We are on our way, brothers and sisters, to 10,000 subscribers, and we're on our way to 10K. You can be a part of that. If you like content like this, you can be a part of that. You want to see stuff like we're going out there standing on the lineage, we're going out there representing for the lineage. You can be a part of that. All right. It's not just me. It's all of us together being a part of that. You can do that by hitting that subscribe button, also hitting that like button. That's important, and hitting the notification bell, because YouTube be hating, so you don't miss out on any future content. All right, make sure you guys do that. Also, you can be following me, because I posted those videos. I just got them. I got them from my social media, so you can be following me on my various social media pages, which is Afro Elite on Instagram, and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. All right, so for you brothers and sisters, I appreciate that so very much. Make sure you subscribe, because we're on our way to 10K. My good brothers and my good sisters. Brothers and sisters, I got a lot of work. I still got a lot of work to do. So with that being said, because if you think this is one thing, oh, wait till you see. This year is our year. I'm on a roll, and I'm not stopping. I got a lot of stuff. I can't tell you, but I got a lot of stuff I got to work on. So let me get to work. But with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, be one salute to every single last one of you all. And of course, you all have a good one.